Incoming transmission.
Welcome to Saving Star Trek, a show talking about one of my favorite shows, Enterprise. I am Linda Park. I play Hoshi Sato and also Empress Sato. So enjoy this show. I love that it's finding a whole new life on the streaming services. And you better hit that like button or Empress Sato will not be happy. I mean, she could make a storm happen, and she could really make your life hard. Anyways, enjoy the show, hit that like button, and thank you for being a fan of Enterprise.
Hello, sirs and madams. It's your buddy Admiral Teague. Hit the like and follow if you please. If you want, the notify bell is great. Also, good to see everyone. We have an excellent episode of Star Trek Enterprise tonight, as far as I'm concerned. You know what? One of our problems with Strange New Worlds was these were questions that nobody asked. On this one, this was a well-asked question. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, it was a well asked, pretty well answered question.
In beta canon.
Yeah, it's not something we necessarily needed, but what the hell is that?
Oh, this is our next story. Sorry. Before we get into the episode, but we're going to set that up a little bit. We got two things for you today. We have New Trek cast gets Saturn Awards for that'll be like a 5-minute thing because the picture is so hilarious. And then after that, we will have for you the Enterprise review. So if you could hit the like and follow, even if you're coming through later for this excellent episode of Star Trek Enterprise. A lot of stuff going on tonight, but nothing as focused on Star Trek as this, as we have some new hope and some flickers of, a future. So if you can, if you want to help out, tweet out that the show is live, even if you're coming through later. If you're a Redditor, put this up on the Reddit of your choice. I don't care. I'll stand up and take the beating for what people say on here. We love this show. And when it's good, it's good. And when it's bad, it's bad. We've seen enough Sussman interviews now to see that even if, first of all, the way he interacted, even if he didn't agree with us, unless we were dicks about it, I don't think he would care if we didn't like his episode that much. He might even think about our criticisms. He seems to care what fans think. That's the first piece of good news down the pike. Probably mid 2027 if the Kurtzman thread is true, that Strange New World season 2 will drop in January 2027, which is usually when we get the final insults from any Kurtzman endeavor, right? Because that's when Section 31 happened, and that was supposed to be the end.
Yeah, that's usually when they do to try to screw over the entire calendar year.
They really, you know what? It's a good thing it's they're on a financial calendar year because otherwise they would bankrupt the studio pretty damn easily. But we're glad to see everybody out there. Let's see who we got in the crowd. I see Headcase and the Trek Reviewer. Hello to both of you. And you know what? There'll be the audience will be installed on Tuesday. What can I tell you? This one's a good one, but first up front, this was the weirdest picture I have ever seen. These are the new Trek creators. Now, the first thing I want to point out is here is the original shot.
It looks like school picture day off of the short bus.
It definitely does. And there's so many weird things going on in this picture that I can't even begin to cover them all. The first thing I'll say is that Kurtzman is wearing Ellen DeGeneres' outfit, a gray suit with, and did he sleep in the suit? Did he sleep in his suit? Kurtzman really just showing up with $5 worth of clothing, when he stopped by the old Miami Vice prop department. Is he wearing Crocs or is he wearing just extra bad take on cons? Nobody's wearing their Fluvogs that they got for free. Is that Rod Roddenberry standing next to him because it's for Star Trek in general, not just Kurtzman, so he's happened to be there?
It must have been. He would have been the one taking the 60th Anniversary Achievement Award.
No, Shatner accepted. I saw it. It was awesome.
Ah.
He called the award nonsense and other things. I don't know who that is on the far right. Is that like Merrick Buttrick's son? I'm kidding, of course. We have no idea who that is. Could that be New Jack from Picard? Then we see C3 Picardo going, you know what? Let's go from left to right. That'd be easier. From left to right, flashing the Vulcan salute with the blonde hair in back is Doug Jones. That's Doug Jones from Star Trek Discovery, Germ. He's relevant because of Shape of Water. That's why they invited him. Yeah, no, Shatner accepted on behalf of of Star Trek in general. He also talked about how the award was crap. It was an awesome speech. I'll tell you a little bit about it in a moment. But so next to him is Jerry Ryan, but she's blocked by Body Positivity Series Acclamation Mill 9, and she's got like whatever. She's doing the double Vulcan salute. And I ISO'd her because her facial expression was so weird.
Yeah, it looks like she's really enjoying the extracurriculars.
Or farting. All right, so then there's Carl Urban. We understand why he was there. They needed him there. They paid him to go there probably, or he was there for the boys. Jonathan Frakes, I guess they've become friends at Star Trek, what do you call it? It's at Star Trek conventions. He's mocking Carl Urban a little bit, which is at least the only people having fun there. There's Vaginosis trying to be seed in front of Carl Urban. Jonathan Frakes in front of him, Rod Roddenberry, we think.
He's not even back too far, and she has to stand on her tiptoes to get noticed behind the Body Positivity hologram.
Yeah, the Body Positivity hologram didn't give a fuck about Vaginosis getting seen, and neither did these people. They're like, she was probably told, hide your body, it's kind of nice. So then there's Kurtzman, who slept in his fucking suit and is wearing some sort of weird, dressed like Ellen to this thing, wearing Crockett's old clothes. Behind him is just some guy. I don't know who that guy is, Jerm. Producer? Oh,
probably.
I know who it is. You know who it is? It's Captain Shaw from Picard 3. It's Todd Stashwick.
Oh, okay. Shows how important he is.
Well, no, he also
recognizes him.
Well, here's the deal. He will probably be in Star Trek in some way going forward, no matter who controls it. He's the one person who knows he's getting paid from Star Trek because he's in both. He's friends with Sussman. He's in Sussman's show that he co-writes, and he's down with Kurtzman. So Kurtzman inherited him from like more competent people, but he knows who he is. The fringe people work with him, which is whatever. Then I don't know who that is standing behind. Who is that standing behind Kurtzman? That man.
I have no idea.
Then in front of that person is not the writer. So I'm assuming that must be Mrs. Kurtzman, or it's the writer and I'm wrong, but she's got her dog as her security animal, right? Her comfort animal, whatever you call it. What is it called?
Emotional support animal.
Thank you. You know these things. Isn't it weird? You're like, you have to really turn on the right wing, so-called right wing news to get in touch with what the woke people call their stuff, because they don't know what it is and no one cares. So
I just spent 15 years taking those damn HR quizzes. But for some reason, working in a factory, an emotional support animal has to be covered in those damn tests.
That's just ridiculous. I took my test for New York. All we had to do was like promise not to like show people fucked up memes on our phone. Yeah, the guy standing behind Kurtzman could be anybody. It could be exactly who Headcase thinks it is. We just don't know. But then there's a chick. She's got her emotional support animal. But did you notice that the emotional support animal has got problems too, because it's wearing one of those thunder vests to keep the dog from freaking out? So she's freaking out her dog so that she could be less freaked out. Isn't that like the reverse of why you're supposed to do something like that? Help me.
Yeah, it's kind of an oxymoron to have an emotional support dog that needs emotional support.
You think the dog's also on like a couple of like doggy like Prozacs or something to keep it from being depressed?
Probably.
Then we have Data. Yeah, right. Then we have Data. Then we have C. Yeah, Data's just like glad to get paid. Then we got C3 Picardo.
He looks like he is imposed to be there. They had to drag him to get into this picture.
He was happy to make some money. His house burned down in the fire, I heard. So I think he lost his house in the Palisade Park fire. So he needs the money. He was happy to go there and look at the dead-eyed look on his face. He's looking at Picardo and he's thinking, this isn't going to happen to me. I'm not showing up in any more of their shows. People have already given me enough shit. Hey, Lombardi, it's great to see you, buddy. And by the way, this is a great time for you to point out, hit the like and follow if you're coming through now or later. We're going to do our review in a moment. We're just some old business here. Sandwich acquisition machine. Yeah. Yes. She can inhale them. So C3 Picardo, he's getting lost in the dog's eyes because he's embarrassed because he went way too far defending this show. What do you think, Jerm?
I think he's pissed off that he has to be there, and he's going to be pissed off every time they drag him up to one of these things. He
now hates these people, you think?
Yeah.
Do you think he's embarrassed about the fool he made of himself before he saw the show?
Probably a little bit, but I'm thinking it's more personal with these people. He's so much more talented than the vast majority of the people standing there. It just
the only people there with as much talent as him is Doug Jones, Carl Urban, possibly Stashwick in the future, Brent Spiner.
Yeah.
That's it. So
he's probably the third most talented guy on that screen, and he hates everyone else.
I don't know who the guy on the far right is. Is that maybe like Gene Roddenberry's grandson, maybe?
I thought it was the guy from Picard season 3, his son, but I might be wrong.
You think that's New Jack? I think that was a thought too. Both of us were saying it could be New Jack.
Yeah, it definitely looks like him.
Except that they did his hair much differently, but he easily could have just skipped the haircut. Hey, truck reviewer, why is Kurtzman the only one wearing white shoes? He's not wearing white shoes. If you look at his shoes carefully, they're actually they're teal. He's wearing teal canvas shoes with rubber fronts. He's wearing teal Converse type shoes. I don't know why. Also, if you'll notice this, guys, the EMH was another person who wasn't going to be bothered to bring his suit to the cleaners. He double shifted those pants. Did you notice that, Jerm?
Admiral Teague, incoming super chat.
Thank you to my friend, the real head case, who says, I'm making my dread vid. Urban being there is, I don't know, or is ick. You know what? Like, he was in the Kelvin movies, and I don't know how much a guy from New Zealand knows about Star Trek. Carla knows, but like, I don't know. His McCoy wasn't horrible. It almost helped that whole thing fly. If they had leaned on him a little harder, like, the movies might have even worked a little better, but there was no overcoming those stories. I don't really have a lot of personal malice against him for those movies. He's like the least. Him, Zachary Quinto, and Chris Pine did nothing wrong. I don't know. Hey, Crimlon's here. Crimlon! So Chris Pine did nothing wrong. Zachary Quinto did nothing wrong. And I don't know that I just don't know if I can blame Carl Urban either. So thank you very much, Real Head Case. I appreciate it very much. So here they are. The cast of New Trek. Just, it's as weird as could be. This is the strangest red carpet. I would point out that William Shatner was here, accepted on behalf of the franchise. My guess is there was a picture of him and Gene Roddenberry's family, whoever that Rod Roddenberry chose to have in the picture. And then he just said, get the fuck out of here. When they asked him to take a picture with the new Trek people, it's like, no. So here's Kurtzman trying to figure out the Vulcan salute. This is 9 years. Like, how long since Star Trek 09? How long since then? And this is now 17 years later, and he has not figured out how to do the Vulcan salute. Or he's trolling us because he thinks he's funny. I really find him to be an irritating man. He's a bit of a dick. And again, serious acclamation, Mill, with the weird face contest of them all. That's Jerry Ryan's hand behind her. She was wearing like a glove on one hand, like she was like a member of Prince's original band, The Revolution. It was really something, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Strange stuff. This was one of the weirdest things that I've seen. So that's the X business of today. And it's been fun to bring that to you every week, a little bit of it. But what we have now is a little bit of a special surprise for you. We talked to our friend about this beforehand. And what we have is a review from my pal and everyone else's, the J-Man. The J-Man came to my attention. He knew Clobby. He was pals with him. And also, he is the number one as far as getting his art or his tiles noticed on Google. Google puts him in the first page. So I accidentally stole some tiles from him a couple of times because I didn't know who the hell he was or what the fuck I was doing yet. And I got to know him, and he's great. And these critically underwatched reviews are great. So I'll put the I will put the link into the review. But Germ, are you back? Have you seen this one?
And you don't need to put the link, buddy. Already got to it.
Thank you. Okay, here's the link for this actual review, though. Well, you know what? We don't need it because we're going to see it. But go over there, sub to the J-Man. A lot of great comic deep dives, including the Star Wars comics and other stuff like that you wouldn't expect. So here we go.
Affliction. This is Star Trek Enterprise Season 4. Wait a minute. The Klingons have their ridges and all that. But wait a minute. Enterprise takes place before Captain Kirk. Now, in Captain Kirk's time, Klingons didn't have ridges and all this cool makeup. This show is a bunch of BS. I'm calling shenanigans on this season. How you like that? How you like that, Enterprise people? I'm calling shenanigans on it. What are you going to do about it? Well, we're going to make this up.
Is he trolling us? Because he tends to like Enterprise.
He is trolling.
You think so? You haven't seen this, but that's your guess.
It would fit.
The episode's too good. Let's find out.
Episode explaining why a lot of Klingons don't have the ridged forehead. Now, it does explain it, but we never saw any Klingons with the ridged forehead in Kirk's time. I guess you could kind of make an excuse for it, but then we never saw any Klingons that didn't have the ridges in, like, Next Gen or Deep Space Nine or any of that. I'm going to applaud them for trying to figure out a way to work this in and kind of fix that problem. The fact that they're even addressing it is kind of neat, and I kind of got suckered into this episode. We're going to use my space system.
So he was trolling us. So he seems to have a much higher regard for it than we thought.
Yeah, he generally does have a very high regard for these episodes.
Pacing, artistry, characters, enjoyment. Each category gets a score between 0 and 2. 2 is the best. I'm going to give the storyline. I think I might give it I want to give it a 2 almost. I'll give it a 2. Yeah, man, sorry. I got to shill on this one again because I really got into it.
His rating system's a little weird. It's like 0, 1, 2, and then it's an aggregate score.
story here is that there's a disease in the Klingon Empire, or some Klingons have. There's a colony that's got it, and it's like a million Klingons or whatever it is, and they're losing their ridges because they're becoming somewhat human, but it's actually the augments. So there's augment DNA that they've tried to splice with Klingons and make Klingon augments just the way that Khan or Soong had his guys, but it was basically like Khan. So if Khan Noonien Singh is like an augment for us humans, they're trying to make an equivalent for Klingon. So that'd be a pretty strong and powerful person. You do lose the Klingon features because it does have part of the human DNA in it. It's pretty neat. Phlox is kidnapped in the beginning of the episode.
The Admiral.
And they're getting him.
It would seem to have an Inception event.
But also,
according to the real head case.
So that's
J-Man right now is talking about us, talking about him, talking about this episode.
That's cool. J-Man's the best. That's cool. We have Inception. Tell him we say hi. We love the J-Man. We're doing totally different topics. So yeah, when the J-Man was on, and J-Man needs to come back. Tell him that I said hi, and tell him I can't wait to have him back, because as we get close to the end of Enterprise, his perspective is something we really want. So we love his reviews. This is only the second time we've played one of them, but this is a major arc throughout the series. So we figured we'd bring in J-Man here early, give us a little help. Also, JT trying inverse phasing on the power of his at his location. The EPS conduits are down, and Balana is working on it right now. But and Sean will be here. So we figured we'd bring in the J-Man for a minute.
Storyline in this one, the Enterprise has to find him. The subplots are that Trip is now serving aboard the Columbia as chief engineer because of because of his feelings with T'Pol. We'll cover that in the characters section. But 2 out of 2 for the story. Really liked it. It's a multi-part one. So we'll talk about the rest of that in the next video. Pacing is 2 out of 2. I found this to be actually very exciting. When Phlox got kidnapped, like, what's going on? First, they start to investigate, and like, wow, what's happening? And then halfway through, all of a sudden, Reed starts acting weird, and you're like, what's going on with Reed? Oh shit, he's in Section 31. You thought you forgot about Section 31, and then it came back in. He's been forced to work for Section 31. It's pretty cool. So now you're like, oh man, what's going to happen? So a lot of tension in this one. I think it was done really well. The artistry, I'm going to give it a 2 because yet again, where everything looks awesome to me.
Stop the J-Man for a second. Canonically the first time, but in order and in aggregate for all Star Trek fans, while they get mentioned in conversations about maybe being behind some bullshit, but when Cisco and other people talk about it, they're from Deep Space Nine. That's the people who came up with them. They're a Deep Space Nine thing. It's nothing wrong with that. We're not saying it with any shade. We need people to know that. Oops, maybe I did such a bad job of spelling that we need to try it again. But they came to us from Deep Space Nine, and if I'm correct here, while they get mentions up to 12 times to keep them real and in world and seem existential after we see him, they are in 2 episodes, correct?
Maybe a couple more, because they are in near.
They're in 2 stories. Is that what it is?
I think 3 stories. 2 stories after the initial recruitment of Bashir.
So there's like maybe 3 or 4 stories and like 6 or 7 episodes.
Something like that.
For reasons you guys will understand later, I'm creating a banner right now that's going to save us a lot of trouble, I think, when it's initiated into the pattern. Here we go. Here's one we're going to love. Oh, no, I have to delete a banner? All right, I'll delete one. There we go. All right, now we can have it. Here we go. Because this one gets a little sciencey, and they talk about the Klingons messing with their Levi's, as we've already heard. So let's just keep going.
I actually liked the way the Klingon augments looked. I know they're just kind of regular looking humans with just the makeup, but I think they did a good job of like trying to replicate them. So it's like they're kind of like the Kirk ones, but slightly different. A little bit, a bit, still a bit more like cooler, if you want to use that term. Everything looks great. Yeah, the makeup's good. You got some good ship stuff. Yeah, characters. I'm gonna give it a 2 again because I loved all the characters here. So you got Trip now. Going on to the Columbia with Captain Hernandez, who I really like. I really like her a lot too. She's awesome. Typically in shows when stuff happens like this, they try to make the other captain an ass or a witch.
That's Admiral Gardner's job.
They make people idiots or something, and then you're like, oh, But no, they're in Starfleet. She's a great captain. So Trip is very privileged to work under her. Obviously, we want him back on Enterprise because he's the best character in the show, but also, we want him with T'Pol and back on the ship with his buddies. It's probably eventually gonna.
Interesting. Best character on the show?
One of.
It's arguable. It's you know what? It's not crazy, is it? It's not. That's not a crazy thing to say.
Happen, right? But we gotta wait it out. He's going through some things. All that's great. Phlox is on fire in these couple episodes coming up.
Yes, John Billingsley's best acting in Star Trek, aside from the Mirror Universe, where he plays Dr. Phlox as we see him. What do you think, Jim?
Well, definitely.
All right. Here we go.
Man, just on fire. Great stuff with Phlox. I even like some of the stuff with Hoshi, man. In the beginning of this episode, she was doing some friggin' martial arts, man. They tried to attack her. She gave a few good hits and did a nice little spin kick and everything. All right, Hoshi, yeah, she's good. Enjoyment factor, G, I guess it's a 2 out of 2. So it's another 10 out of 10 because I'm the Enterprise show. I'm changing my name. My channel name is going to be called Enterprise. Shillin with J-Man. I don't know what to tell you, man. I like this one a lot. What am I going to tell you? I'm giving it a 10 out of 10 because, yeah, I'm a Star Trek nerd. Sorry. It is what it is. If you like my space system, even though I just gave this a 10, wasn't very critical at all. Please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the playlist for Star Trek. I don't give them all 10 out of 10. And when I don't. And when I do, I do. So there you go.
We have seen him do a couple of not takedowns, but less glowing reviews. All right. So that's our pal J-Man. We got his take on it. I don't think we're going to be that far apart. Welcome, everybody. Hit those like and follows. We got a goal, 30 likes for the show. That would be awesome. If you'd help us get there, we would really super appreciate it. And with that, I guess we'll dive into this week's episode. This one starts with. Hold on. I'm sorry. As I just do a little producing. This one starts with our pals, the Klingons. And we have a weird. This place, it seems to make sense for a minute, but then we notice that, like, there's like cages. And it's a little bit like nastier and more malevolent than most places that we've seen the Klingons in. We think it's Duras's ship, right?
No, Duras is dead by this point.
No, the set. The set used to be Duras's ship.
Parts of it, yes.
Sorry, I was wrong in the way I stated that. Yeah, this is partly Duras's ship. He is, and some other set. What is it? A space station or it's a science station on the planet in question?
Probably, yeah.
So anyway, terrible things are going on here. We're invoking the worst of what happened in Germany in the 20th century. This Klingon says that his death sentence was commuted. So we know this is not good. They hook him up to an IV indicative of, lethal injection, and he starts to scream or whatever, have his warrior moment of like defiant, oh no, I'm going to die in an inglorious way. And we see his cranial ridges starting to pulse and reduce, and then we cut to our beginning. I was as J-Man said, I was also hooked right in. And here we have in the same shot. We've seen it a couple of times, but the Columbia is just about ready. But it's had some problems, Germ. The Columbia has had some problems. It's a typical government contract. Things went late and long and expensive. And I understand a few people were investigated by the Inspector General of Starfleet for some of the things that went on and the irregularities in the building of the Columbia. But that's on our Star Trek news show.
They definitely should be. It's 2 years behind schedule.
Is it really 2 years? Has that much time passed on the show since we saw it first?
It was supposed to launch at the beginning of season 3. We're at the tail end of season 4.
I thought it was beginning trials, but I guess that's launching.
They haven't got to the trial part yet.
Well, they haven't gotten to their warp trial, but yeah. And this is a beautiful shot.
Oh, yeah. It's the same shot they use for a lot of the orbital scenes. They just change around the planet and everything else into the orbit.
It's just beautiful. The Enterprise looks beautiful. We've seen that space dock. It's not that much different than the dock from the motion picture, and I think that they've done a fantastic job just making their technology logical. It makes sense that it would still look like this. And why wouldn't they build their ships in space?
Well, yeah, they have to build the ships in space. It doesn't make any sense to build on a planet. That is one of the most retarded things they showed in the 09 movie.
That was so incredibly stupid. So incredibly stupid. So stupid. And then they had to have a line in Star Trek Into Darkness to justify what happened in their movie because it was so for one visual. That shows you how much they didn't care. So to Paul and Trip have a conversation here, and she's like, why are you leaving? What's the big deal? And he's playing it pretty cool and professional, and he doesn't really tell her it's because I have feelings about you, but she can tell. She knows. She smoked enough Trillium, and I thought it was a very effective scene. What did you think of our open there with, first of all, with the Klingons, and then with Trip and T'Pol? But let's start with the Klingons.
Oh, very good with the Klingons. You want to see what's happening. You don't really know from the opening scene. You might get a hint about the dissolving cranial ridges, but that just goes to whet your appetite a little bit more for it. The stuff with Trip and T'Pol, that's been an ongoing storyline, so everyone's already invested in that. So people want to see it conclude.
Agree. And I just want to say hello to John, the Beagle Dad. Resolute is here with me. And we want to greet the Trek reviewer, Radioactive, The Dead Man, Buddy Hepburn, Lombardi 1969, Gavin Blackburn, Mr. Angel, Crimlon, and The Real Head Case. Welcome to all of you. We're so glad to have you here. Thank you very much, all of you, for coming. And we already have 14 votes. People are pretty sure that they like this episode a lot. We got 36% A, 36% B. So right there, that's 72% think it's really good Star Trek, which is 14 votes in. And C, 21%. Okay, so people weren't that wild about it. Representative amount at this level of voting. But hey, hello, T. Stark CEO. Congratulations on the 100,000 view day, my friend. We're talking about Star Trek Enterprise episode Affliction. We're going to explain how the Klingons got their ridges. So as we watch this episode, it's Manny Kodo and Sussman are the creators behind this one. Is it a question unasked, or is it an opportunity to tell a story without altering canon? I guess it's both, but which one is it really more
a
to
bit
you?
Of both. I think it's more a question that didn't need to be answered, but it was fun to debate.
I thought that they closed. I was satisfied with the way they did it, so I don't have any issues.
Yeah, it wasn't
all
too
right.
bad.
I look forward to this, Tony. Everyone say hello to our pal Tony. Anyway,
all the stuff they could have thought of to justify the ridges not being there in toss, this is probably the best they could do.
And at no point is this story stray away from being fun. We have a tussle right here. Hoshi spin kicks a guy, which is fine. She's had a lot of combat. We've seen Hoshi fight a lot of physical combat, a lot of shooting it out. She's fought in space. She doesn't give a shit anymore. So the spin kick, and she starts getting the better of one of the guys. They're only Regilians. We don't know what their strength level is compared to us. And also, she's taken out then immediately from behind by the other Regilian. So it sort of looked like training plus burst of adrenaline was giving her an initial advantage, and she was going to lose no matter what, because it was like she wasn't overwhelming the guy. She just shocked him with the resistance, and they're grabbing Phlox and not concentrating on her. So they didn't expect her to resist at all. And so she gets the better of them. It's not a girl bossy fight at all. In fact, while there are no pains to set up the fight to make it more convincing, Hoshi's entire journey, for a while, she couldn't use phaser the right way. She couldn't use a phaser the right way. And I see that we have a distinguished commander joining us here. He's coming aboard from the planet down by the mid-southern part of the northern continent. Let's beam him right to the bridge. Hey, so say we all. It's our pal.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, hold on. I don't think I can hear you guys.
Okay, I'm speaking now.
One moment.
All right. I guess I should say.
Yeah, I can't hear you guys.
Huh.
Oh, I heard you, Germ, and I heard the sound effect.
So do you see my bubble pulsing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Oh, hey, you know what? StreamYard's warm-up defect. Sometimes it takes, if you just turned on your source, up to 45 seconds for it to click through to StreamYards, and sometimes it unsources itself. I always check that on the way in to see that my headphones and my speakers are on. It's a weird StreamYards anomaly, but welcome aboard. Look, someone had someone was a dick and beat up our girl Linda.
Fucking assholes.
Did you have a chance to watch the episode? She had a fight that I thought was believable.
Yeah, I watched all of them a couple of weeks ago. I finished the season. It's
a really good binge. So when she kicks the gun out of the Regilian's hand, I don't think she was doubled. I think Linda Park was just that nimble. She pulls it off. The thing is, we've seen her in enough combat situations, and we know that she would die for her crewmate. So she's okay with this fight that she might lose. So she disarms one guy. Okay, good enough. Then she jumps at him and starts to overwhelm him. But initial burst of adrenaline, explains that. Plus, they weren't there for her or expecting her to resist or be able to be a threat. They didn't think she had any military in her at all. They only knew Phlox. So they're there to grab him, and they're ready to grab a wuss doctor. This chick starts giving them a pretty hard time. Initial burst of adrenaline. She gets the better for a moment of the Regilian who she disarmed, but then from behind she gets knocked out and knocked down. And she's unable to recover from it. She sees a little bit and kind of blacks out. I thought that this was a believable amount of resistance from a character we've seen built up in her physical combat prowess over the course of 4 seasons. This was not forced or unbelievable. What did you think, Germ?
Perfectly believable. These guys aren't soldiers, and they probably weren't even expecting anyone to be with Phlox at the time, so any resistance was something they didn't even plan for.
And for all we know, they're only 3/4 as strong as us.
Yeah, and it looked like some of her Mako training came into play here. So she wasn't afraid of a fight.
We said this the first time we talked about this for a minute because we just went over this a moment ago, but since you just got here and we just started the episode, we saw our awesome Klingon beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you any thoughts on that one?
No, it's all everything in this episode is good.
Yeah, the J-Man likes it too. It was a fantastic stinger in there to get it going and open up the episode. And then we get a pretty good fight from Hoshi that tells you how much the character's changed, because she was timid and she had a few hangups early on. And instead of compiling hangups and then all of a sudden becoming a super person out of nowhere the way Tilly did, Linda Park, like, first she learns how to fire her phaser the right way. She has to work with Malcolm a little extra hard to figure that one out. She also then learns about how to deal with being in her spacesuit. She didn't like that one for a while.
And she looks good, a little roughed up too. I got to be honest.
Yeah, I like her. I like the way she looks like this.
Hair's a little tousled, you know.
Looking back over her shoulder at me. Yeah, I could feel it. She's beautiful. She's beautiful. But the thing is, in the fight, she didn't beat the fuck out of anybody. She had a good military move that we've seen her get trained enough for. And then, like, she got the better of some weird alien who might be weaker than us through adrenaline, and then she was just taken out of the fight by the next guy. It's not like she
which is believable.
Her way through it. This was all believable. Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I want to say.
Maybe she'll get a punch or two in, but she's not going to win.
She was also brave, though. She didn't give a fuck. She was going to fight and get killed for her friend. And Phlox is useless
because at this time there's still what we call a military organization, so it's not like she's going to talk theater.
Yeah, you know, you didn't mention that at every point of this series where she's had a shortcoming, she's been called out and told to overcome it, including a little shyness dealing with the aliens and having to talk like some of their weird voices. At any rate, they make off with Phlox. There's Earth security looks a lot like Federation guys. They have the outdoor gear. They're now diamond quilted, which was big in that year. So whatever, they're pretty cool. We have Tasha Yar's ancestor here. This woman was so Tasha. And I thought that she seemed pretty competent. The police investigation is going down. There's no DNA around except hers and the doctor's. We're not sure what's up.
Well, there's some of mine there, but it would be hard to find.
So Archer and Reed show up, and a little foreshadowing here. Archer sus of Reed right away. I don't know why. He doesn't have reason to yet. Nothing that has caused. Reed is going to get compromised in this, guys, but nothing that has not yet been revealed. This is going to be a chronological first.
Yeah.
We don't do it with subversion, and we don't do it with disrespect. And I would just, as we were going on with Germ, what is it? 2 Deep Space Nine stories with maybe a total of 6 or 7 episodes and mentions in 12 more to make them seem real, but not a real presence in Deep Space Nine. But that's where they come from. What's your opinion of Section 31 at this point? They're still kind of cool. It was still interesting to see them. I don't know. What did you think? Gerb?
I liked them okay. They haven't been ruined yet by New Trek, so they're what they're supposed to be.
And we only see a couple of guys. They have a ship too, I think.
Yeah, at this point, Section 31 I would have been okay with. I didn't really care for the way they did it in DS9, where they had their own fleets and their own this and that. At this point, they seem a little bit more, covert type of a thing.
They seemed like the WAP and SS in Deep Space Nine sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not in that many stories, but they're deeply flawed. And then I think they did us a favor. There's like a special edition, maybe it's from Robert Meyer Burnett, but he had a roundtable with the writers of Deep Space Nine with their ideas for the next season if they'd gotten one, and they were all batshit. They were fucking batshit. It was that show had run its course. We got great Star Trek out of it. We had every minute of Deep Space Nine that they could give us that was going to be good. Anyone see that feature where they were all batshit ideas?
Yeah, what we left behind, their idea for a 8th season was insane.
They should have been given a movie.
I kind of like that idea where Vic was degrading. That was kind of cool. But
they had a couple of good story ideas here and there, but I don't think they would have pulled off a good season 9. They would have been better off working with the movie people or getting some new movie people or seeing if Deep Space Nine people could make a movie, because the Star Trek Next Generation people were proving they couldn't.
Yeah, I haven't seen What We Left Behind in a while, so I'm sure Germ has a better recollection than I do.
So here we have.
See, it was.
Oh, there we go. Pardon, Germ?
Their story idea was the Bajorans creating Jem'Hadar and Kira being the new Kai.
Oh, okay, then no. But wait here.
Admiral Teague, incoming super chat.
Hey, RRTNZ, our buddy, says any episode with Uncle Philip as a Klingon gets an A from me. Extra credit is for the Seth MacFarlane cameo, which I got it. Oh, we're going to have to clip that. Was that more than 5 seconds? It sure was, wasn't it?
That was close to a minute.
Are we still on the air?
Yeah.
Hard to believe. Well, guys, you'll understand why there'll be a big this part of the show will be clipped out tomorrow. But okay. Wow. Yeah, that was a long time. Holy shit. How the hell did this happen? This much just kept going?
No, you've already gone past what it was.
Oh, I see what happened. I hit the I also advanced the story quite a bit.
Does it detect if you have a mirror image? Like if it's flipped horizontally?
No, but there's more of a case of transformation. That's why Disparu is doing it. Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah, like I think it may not trigger the bots to.
Well, no, the thing is his gets uploaded.
Oh, okay.
Here's the good news. This is allowed to be used on TV. I will have to, so I can't monetize this stream. Big deal. It was a mistake. These are different license holders than New Trek, so these people don't have a problem with me. And I'd point out I have an in with them now. So if I do get in trouble, like I'll send a DM and I'll be like, please, sir. And maybe I'll get some help. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to make a habit of it, but sorry about that, guys. Here we go. We're back to where we should have been. Faith of the Heart ends. We see our sister ship. Trip is intrigued, pretty happy about it. And this is the only way we ever see ships anymore. We see the ship reflected in the glass of what is usually their view screen, but on this ship is just a porthole or a window, whatever you want to call it. And they're looking at it, and we see the space dock reflected low res, but we've already seen the space dock and gotten a great look at it. This scene's about them and their environment. So this is like for us and for our enjoyment. This is not to get out of the obligation of showing us a good shot. New Trek does this to get out of the obligation of showing us a good shot. So we get a great shot here.
It'd be better if DePaul wasn't wearing anything, but I'll take it.
RRTNZ's got the correction. Yeah, in Deep Space Nine, they have a ship, not a fleet. I didn't think they made it into Voyager. Oh, wait, Discovery Section 30, Discovery Season 2? Yeah, no, they have a ship, though, in Deep Space Nine, if I'm not incorrect.
They have a hollow ship.
There you go.
What was that guy's name again?
Sloan.
Yeah. And
yeah,
I want to apologize to the chat there. Yeah, I just want to apologize to the chat. If I sound like I don't care or anything tonight, it's just I'm really tired. So my apologies if I'm not my normal chipper self.
I'll get Julian up here to give you a hypo spray, and you'll be good as gold.
I did a little bump, but might take a while to kick in. I'm just.
But yeah, I mean, of course, we would lecture you quite sternly backstage about that one. It's not the 80s anymore.
Learn to share.
That's that, and it's not the 80s anymore. It's dangerous to do that stuff.
I didn't bring enough for the whole class. I'm sorry.
Is it your uncle saved some of that really good 80s cocaine? He's like, Sean, kept a
Oh
little
no,
for you.
he did the whole 8 ball.
did he span it out over a few months? It's like, yeah, that was a good summer.
Yeah, he did a little at a time because it had been a while. But he said it was still really good. I should have asked him like what director did he buy it from?
He's like, Oliver Stone, of course.
Could have been.
Oliver Stone got
He
caught
worked
with
he worked with Coppola a lot. So
Francis Ford Coppola had no problem having cocaine on the set. He got some in his hopper. It was weird how fast he sort of lost it.
Yeah.
His Dracula movie looks better than it did when it came out, but that movie still has long parts that don't work. Gary Oldman, great performance. And then like his Frankenstein movie with De Niro, it's like we didn't know De Niro just needed to like not act for that movie and be himself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a monster. It's like, yeah, I kind of are. I hate myself. You know what? That is called healthy self-reflection. But notice how much more of a city we have here. I don't have a problem with this as compared to the San Francisco we've been seeing on Thursday nights. Nice mix of modern and older buildings. Yeah, it looks normal.
Yeah, they just added a couple of spots to the actual skyline, so it's all natural. Looks great. As far as San Francisco can look great. Of course, they had to digitally edit out all the poop from the streets.
Yeah, Real Head like Case wants a line. Looking at the chat.
As I look at the city skyline, though, I think they've done a beautiful job of mating it up with it's like you see just enough buildings from like what is almost definitely the 20th and 21st century, and enough of their buildings mixed in together. And there's so much more going on by Starfleet headquarters and San Francisco, and the world is alive and bustling. Starfleet Academy, like San Francisco's in the middle of a desert and has like 6 buildings. It's a shithole. So this is Sean. They go deep into the sci-fi here. We have unbelievably street crime in San Francisco.
I know, right?
They really went into it. And as we said, we thought the fight was believable. We enjoyed Linda's performance. They make off with Phlox. Hoshi has some idea what's going on. The local cops dress a lot like Starfleet, or it's Starfleet security. It's probably Starfleet security because Phlox has been kidnapped. And Trip is now aboard the Columbia. And behind Trip, who might that be? Who might that be behind Trip beneath your comments? It's who you think it is.
Wait, where?
Right behind Trip.
Is that Seth MacFarlane?
It's Seth.
Really? Is this the episode he's in?
No, he's in 2. He's in 2, as I suspected. Hey,
Kremlin.
Something just set off
Admiral
the long-range sensors.
Incoming super chat.
Kremlin with 10 Admiral Teague super chats, and the lucky recipients are Darkest Soul 6613. Welcome, Elber Perry Street. Am I saying that right? Albert L. Perry 2740. Welcome aboard. Darren M. Going the Boat. Serial Ballet 1990. Jonathan James Johnny Jr. Welcome. Aaron Bice 2167. Welcome. Matt 6903. Welcome. LaStrife. Welcome. And the Real Head Case.
Nice. Thanks, Kremlin.
Already on board, I think. He's just thanking him. So thank you very much for the gift memberships, Kremlin. 10 new members to our chat. Kremlin is going to be around tomorrow for our biggest show, Paramount This Week, which insane last week. I couldn't. Paramount this week was quite simply the most watched Paramount This Week show called Paramount This Week that week at that time over the course of the last week by far. It was the biggest numbers ever by that show ever, and it was also the debut. So hey, you know what? Off to a good start, but everybody's thanking Crimlon. Crimlon, thanks a lot. Here's Seth MacFarlane learning from the best here, learning a little bit about how to write a Star Trek like show, and always having interest in Star Trek. Why is he in this one? He's from Fox. There were a bunch of episodes on the UPN, and the fact that they're a season apart speaks to some sort of production stuff going on right around the time of the Mirror Universe episodes. Because he's season with that, I'm sorry, sort of in the Zindi season, and then he's in this. Do you hear people screaming and fighting outside my window?
I don't hear anything.
I thought that was mine.
Yeah, no, that's outside my window.
He's a little chunky here, huh?
Yeah, he's got his baby fat on him. He's still a kid. He's got a baby face, and what is he, 30, right? Seth MacFarlane was a big deal already young, and what happened was Family Guy keeps getting bought back at this point. So I think this is after the final bring back, so they know he's going to be a star, or they filmed it all at once while he was with UPN. But he loves Star Trek, as we all know. So again, thank you, Crimlon for the 10 gift memberships. It is this Seth MacFarlane update brought to you by Crimlon. He says season 4 is written and ready to be shot and produced. Yeah, it's just going to take 2 years to get the cast together.
It's criminal.
He's been saying that since season 3 was finished.
Yeah. That's just like saying that they've got some ideas. I'll believe it when I see it. It's criminal that they've had such a successful show and they just let it rot.
He went and made a ton of money doing other successful shows, but yeah, I don't know what would have been better. He could only do so much. In fact, on the Paramount front, I watched a show called The Madison today, and it was a sort of show that, like, although I could see myself in it to a certain degree, I kind of thought that it had no Taylor Sheridan in this. Like, Taylor Sheridan spent an hour on this one. It wasn't the worst show ever, but Taylor Sheridan spent an hour on that one. But thank you, Crimlon, sir. And Lombardi, we got MacFarlane on screen here for everyone's amusement. And the last time we saw him, he was on the Enterprise. His name was Rivers at least once. I don't know if they stay consistent in the names, but why wouldn't they? And wouldn't it make sense to you, Sean, that the way he was yelling at Seth MacFarlane about being incompetent and having the EPS conduits be routed correctly, or more people might die in the massive damage control where they lost all those people to the Zindi right after Azadi Prime. It's the episode after Azadi Prime where he's just like, yeah, he's like, yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I'll do it right now, sir. Right away, sir. No problem, sir. And he just runs away, and does his thing. And Trip's just yells at the next person. It's like, oh, right. Doesn't it seem at that moment although he got to come back with the Enterprise, he's the first person Trip wanted to transfer away, or who wanted to be away from Trip.
Oh wait, he was in it before,
right? He was on Enterprise. On the Enterprise.
Okay, I didn't recall that. I thought this was the only one he was in.
After the Battle of Azadi Prime, when Trip is touring the damage of the ship, there's a bunch of different things going on, and he's like, Johnson, do this, and so-and-so, do that. And he's like, damn it, Rivers, the EPS conduits are wired backwards. If you do that, the whole thing will go up and people can die. Pay attention. I don't want any excuses. Get back to work. He's like, sir, right away, sir. I was very busy, sir. I don't even know what I'm doing, sir, right now. Runs away. And he's just like, oh, Captain. Yeah, damage control is coming along quite nicely.
See, if it would have been Voyager, they would have been like, Ensign, it's not time to reverse the polarity on something randomly.
Right. Or they would actually,
yeah.
Seven wouldn't have made a mistake like that. She's like, my reduced need of sleep has helped me give sex to the entire crew. They're working at maximum efficiency. It's like, Seven, we're going to call you Bonnie Blue from now on. It's like, but my name is Annika. It's like, don't worry about it. It's like, why shouldn't they be obsessed with the distant past the way the people on New Trek are? But so there's Seth MacFarlane making another appearance on this great show. And Trip Tucker is talking to the people on the Columbia. And I just like, again, I totally think that Seth was just either transferred away or was transferred away by Trip. And this is Seth's nightmare that he has to work for Trip again. So that doesn't come into it much more, but I do think it's funny that he encounters this character that all intents and purposes, they wouldn't want to work together anymore based on the interaction we saw, where he's just like, damn it, you're an idiot. Don't make any mistakes like this again, or I'll bust out Elizabeth and phase you down. It's like, sir, right away. You know, it was great. It had so much nervous energy, and it was enjoyable.
Was Enterprise McFarlane's first time in front of a camera?
I want to say yes, but who
It's
knows? It's real close. If it's not the first, it's really close. I'm sure he's like, I've seen your show. I'd like to meet Linda Park.
Oh, yeah.
So there's McFarlane along with the other Columbia engineers. And he's like, you guys suck. This ship's 2 years late. It was supposed to launch 6 months ago, and that was already 18 months late. Trip is very military here. And there's something already vibing that he's going to say to the captain tomorrow at the mess. But here's the thing. He's not friendly or using first names or trying to get to know these people. He's just ordering them around, and he's already pissed off at them. He came in preheated at this crew. I thought that he seemed to have a little bit of a grudge against the fact that they didn't get this out there in time to help them with the Zindi. I don't know. Trip is not happy with the way things are going on the Columbia, and he's verbal about it. Sean, he goes first this time.
I don't think it's really anger toward them. I think he's pissed that he felt that he had to leave Enterprise. He's holding a lot of anger.
He's going to tell us exactly what it is later, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think he's just taking his frustrations out on them, and it's misplaced. Not in a bad way. I mean, it's believable for the character. I was just saying, like, his anger is.
Also, we've seen him
good
be
writing,
this
though.
strident. We've seen him be this strident with people on Enterprise, but only under stress.
Right.
Well, yeah, he's under stress right now. Gotta get that ship out of dock, and he just had a ship he liked because of a woman. That's definitely going to get the stress up.
She's a beautiful lady, and he loves her on both counts.
Yeah, and in fact, they allude to it here, or maybe you already passed that part of the episode. Where Rodriguez says, "Go stop by the quartermaster," because he still had his old uniform on. The patch.
That's going to come up in a moment. He's not done ramrodding his new crew, but Captain Rodriguez is going to come up. By the way, I don't know if I'm doing Miami Vice tomorrow or not with Northern English Bastard. I'll check after the show and see if he set it up. But he was talking about how we're going to see a very young actor. It's John Leguizamo. Guess what Northern English called him?
What?
John Leguizamo. I didn't say anything. I muted my microphone. It's like I usually unmute to laugh.
Wait, was it unintentional? Or?
He thought he's British.
Oh, okay.
So he thinks his name is John Leguizamo. He's like a very young John Leguizamo, and I'm like, I muted just in time, and I just started laughing my ass off because it was hilarious. It was just hilarious. And I was just like, I'm not saying a word. And then later on, he mentioned Captain Rodriguez. So I'm loving this one. I am not saying a word. I love it. But he loves the show. Catch me tomorrow. I'll exit out there. But here comes Captain Hot Tits. I mean, she's pretty good looking, honestly. But the thing is, as J-Man said, we played the J-Man's review to start the show because J-Man's reviewed all episodes of Enterprise. You know what? Like, you don't want to like her because she's Trip's new boss, and he's Archer's best friend, and you don't know where it's going to go, but like, she's totally likable and totally competent and projects like she seems a lot more with it and a lot more able than Janeway right away.
Yes,
infinitely.
Absolutely. She doesn't have to get an inch from Tucker's face to talk to him.
And she's equally attractive for her age as like Captain Archer. You know what I mean? But it's a female equivalent, really. This is a woman who is like 45, 47, just like Archer is in there.
Yeah,
and
that's why that's why they bumped uglies.
Yeah, they bumped good lookings. Yeah, well, they're both hot. So I mean, I would like a video of that myself. But honestly, yeah. But the thing is, they dated back at the academy too, or no. SFT, Starfleet training. There was no Starfleet Academy yet. There was Starfleet training.
Right.
But they went to Starfleet training school together. So she welcomes him aboard, and this is where she tells him, "Hey, you're out of uniform."
Yeah, which is a cool little nod to how he's feeling. Like he still hasn't left the ship.
And look at him looking at his patch. I thought that this was a real
It hit home for him. I think that's when it made it real for him. Like, oh,
whatever it is he did to prepare to be Trip Tucker, he has been good from the first episode, but he has been great since the Xindi arc.
Yeah.
Season 2, everybody was a little lost and wandering around a bit, but that Xindi arc, whatever we think about it, it galvanized this crew. He did a great job in that Xindi arc, and he was completely believable. Hello, Kal-El. Welcome. It's good to see you. Were you over with our friend, the J-Man? The J-Man was talking. What was funny was the J-Man was talking about me at the same time that people were going to his channel to sub to him because we played him here. It was like one of those really cool YouTube coincidences. And we get a great shot of the Enterprise here. And you know what I thought for the first time when we saw the NX-01? I said to myself, wait, which ship is it? Have we jumped forward a couple weeks? Could it be the Columbia? So that's out there now. We're no longer the only NX ship out there. But we've got the biggest expert with the Cochrane Archer engine. And he's going to get the Columbia up to speed and probably performing pretty well, pretty quick. Both ships have a redress going on. There's a different captain's chair and a lot of other stuff going on.
Did it make sense to either of you guys why Columbia was delayed so long? It didn't feel.
We couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, it didn't. Well, the plot needed it to happen, because they would have been out there already. But don't you think like Starfleet would have? Okay, let's bring Enterprise home and get Trip on the Columbia and get the second NX up there because we need to build a fleet.
Since they didn't bother putting anything up there to try to stop the second Xindi weapon, and they knew exactly where it was going, they could have just had everything they had right around Earth. The excuse that they were going to try to upgun the rest of everybody else doesn't work either. It's just a little bit of a hole in the fabric of the show.
Yeah, you would have thought that the Columbia would have been ready and launched by now, but yeah.
Jolene looks beautiful, and I'm loving this iteration of her outfit. It's the second time we've seen it, and it's been tweaked even a little more, I think. Looks like they've added yet another color beyond the green. They took some more of that salmon out and let the sleeves down a little more. And there's some pink in there now. And I don't know, with the command pips, and everything else, Jolene has really mastered this character. She also, from day one, has been a really good Vulcan. She hit full stride with her character and has been great since day one. I think it was more the props department and the way they made her up that had problems with her character. Carbon Creek was supposed to kind of reintroduce her to the audience as someone more believable and someone who is actually gorgeous rather than uncanny to look at, because the fiberglass cuirass or whatever you want to call it, and the water bra and all the other weird stuff they did to make a beautiful girl allegedly beautiful. So like they were just messing up like the most perfection you could have.
Good freeze frame there. Archer sticking his tongue out at her.
He's just got his lips pursed, but I
was looking at that. Yeah. I was looking at what's on YouTube.
Yeah, I had to go check the full size version. I'm like, oh my god, he is. No, what's going to happen is Hoshi has seen more than she can remember because she got smacked around and she had a bit of a concussion. So their idea in this Star Trek sci-fi story is that they're going to go to try to get inside of her head using some Vulcan mind meld magic. And she's like, what purpose would you possibly serve in this? He's like, I had, Vulcan Jesus's,
Yeah, I didn't care for care for that line. Like, oh, I'll give you a few pointers. Like, no, he wouldn't.
If they wanted him there to be part of the scene, if they really wanted him there to be part of that scene, something like, I could be something of a midwife to these procedures. I wouldn't be in on the link, but I think I could reassure you. Something like that. And then she could have been like, I have been reading, the works of Serac since we got them, and the Vulcan Dead Sea Scrolls tell me that this is a good idea. We could have worked it in a little easier if we wanted to have the captain there. Because remember, there's some holes in this episode. For instance, why wouldn't you have a doctor there? Why do you grab another doctor or just beam him off of Earth? Like, you're with us till we get this done.
Yeah, they could have brought a Vulcan up there.
Anyone. There's Starfleet Medical. They were in San Francisco.
They have the rest of the staff there.
Excuse me. We never see them.
He has nurses and other people working there.
So then Mr. Reed gets a visit from Section 31. This is not the Section 31 that we remember.
This is a personal massager.
This is not Section 31 as we remember from the show. This is New Trek Section 31 that we're showing you right now for the moment. It's a crime against Star Trek. But here's Section 31 as we remember them. And it's the same outfits from Deep Space Nine, isn't it, Jerm?
Pretty close.
Here's the one thing that weirds me out that I have to keep in mind. Does anyone else notice, one, that the Galactica is on the tactical readout, and two, Section 31's older than Starfleet. Yeah.
That is the Galactica.
Yeah. Guys, we're going to go full screen.
Wow.
Just above Edward James, almost, ironically.
Wait, hold on.
So say we all.
It's the Regilian ship they're looking for, but it looks just like it.
It does look like the Galactica.
The writers have Galactica on the brain, and there's some Galactica stuff, Galactica 2.0 stuff going on here. When we can't close the Skype call between Hoshi and T'Pol, and Trip just wanders into it.
Admiral Teague, incoming super chat.
Hey, RRTNZ Welshie with a $10 New Zealand super chat says, well, know the Zen Master will see story. If Kirk had let the Klingons die out in Star Trek 6, or Phlox had let them die out here, there would have been no one around to help fight the Dominion in Deep Space Nine. That's true. Or the Cardassians earlier, right? I'm assuming they were in on that.
You know, it's funny. I watched today. I watched Siskel and Ebert's review of Star Trek 6. It just showed up on my feed.
Did they dislike it?
No, they both loved it. But it was funny.
They go back to Star Trek 5 to be like, this movie is because the last one really just did not work out.
Yeah, they made the comment about 1, 3, and 5 not being good, 2, 4, 6 being good, which there's
They're
debate
wrong
about
on
that.
3 and 1,
but there was a very
arguably defensible hill. Like, fans have their reasons to love it, but I'm not going to go after Siskel and Ebert for it.
What was funny though, there's a moment where Gene Siskel says something about he said something about Trekkies. And Ebert says, they don't like to be called Trekkies anymore.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember him saying that. I watched that live.
They're Trekkers. Yeah, and it made me think, because now we're like, no, we're good with Trekkies. But the funny thing was Ebert's Siskel's response to that. He goes, I don't care. He's like, I'm going to call him what I want. And I'm like, hell yeah, like, play that today. I'm going to call you what I want to call you. not going to worry about your feelings. It was very
Fuck
funny.
your feelings.
Yeah, it was very. I don't give a shit.
But you know what,
We
guys?
need more. We need more Gene Siskel these days. Wish he was still here.
We definitely do. But you know what? We've gotten a few super chats. So that Star Trek 6 thought brought to you by RRTNZ. But I think we need some video to celebrate. So let's see. What do we have? What do we have that fits?
We will win.
Oh, no. We have better video than that.
Clip that with Kurtzman's face on it because he thinks he's going to get a third. Anyway, yeah.
Oh, that's such new Trek. Year one with Kirk and Spock, with new Trek Kirk and Spock is never fucking happening. There's only one Kirk. Captain Kirk.
Kirk here. Spock here, Captain.
Do you believe this stuff? Is it bullshit or what? Come on. All right, here we go.
That'll be a good subject for your show tomorrow.
A little, yeah, right. That's a good subject. We could talk about that on Paramount this week because it's not happening.
All my life, I've wanted to lead a lot of men in a desperate battle. I'm going to do it. I am going to be allowed to fulfill my destiny.
I had to do some real music mixing to make that work, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I had to harvest the end of the song and lay it over the middle of the song because that's the middle part of the song.
So, yes, folks, this was back in the time when they actually had music in Star Trek shows.
Right? And when violence had meaning, like... I mean, who could blame him? I felt the same way after seeing that. But you guys have been great. Thank you so much for the generosity. But on screen here, we have a Section 31 guy. This is not canonically in production order, but canonically, chronologically, the very first ever Section 31 appearance. This venerable organization, here's my problem. How are they Section 31 of the Federation when there's no Federation yet?
Because it was Starfleet's charter.
Ooh, okay. So they're as old as Starfleet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he said, look at Section 31 of Starfleet's charter. And that's why they called themselves that.
All
By
right.
the way, that
so
guy,
no
that actor
problems.
guy was in, I think he was in, no, maybe I'm wrong, but he's kind of always played a heavy military CIA type of guy, hasn't he?
Yes, and I think maybe here and there, like an anti-crime cop or a criminal.
Mm.
You know, it's not a big difference between your outlook. You know, cops and criminals. Like Paul Sorvino's been Law and Order, one of the biggest law enforcement roles on TV for like his 10-year run or whatever it might have been. And then also in all those mob movies like Goodfellas, is like a big time mobster. So it's the same skill sets to play cops and criminals. It's just some people can't do both.
A dime's worth of difference in some cases.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Paulie Walnuts could not play a cop unless the show was about dirty cops. That actor can't play a cop. He can only play a criminal. Big Pussy was a criminal in The Sopranos, but as a cop in Blue Bloods, and he was fine.
Yeah,
So
and then
he was able to
the
do both.
character Big Pussy made an appearance in Discovery.
That is true. Big Pussy's in Discovery, but Tony Soprano is in TNG. He's the one of the people who busts into Dixon Hill's office.
He was hidden in Tilly's uniform, though.
So here we get two hot chicks touching each other. It's going to be great. T'Pol isn't too good at this, and for some reason, Archer, the only way I can describe it is he's like midwife. He's like, that's right. Reach into her mind. It's like, what would you know? So this was a pretty cool shared experience, but I did think it was enjoyable to watch. I did think it was well done. However, I will say this is very reminiscent of when Baltar would start to trip out and have his little like moments on BSG2.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Reliving guilt or a silent witness to himself. A lot of times we saw that a lot in BSG. But that actor could really do it well. Here it's directed extremely well. And within the auspices of the mind meld, it makes sense too. So we have our struggle. She witnesses that, and then we'll just leave it here for a moment while I discuss the episode. I think it's a good place to leave it at. She was hired for a reason, sirs and madams, right? Yeah,
there's a couple of good reasons to stay on this scene.
Yeah, we're gonna milk this one for all it's worth. And you know what? All those crunches she did to look this good would have been wasted if we didn't show her like just looking fantastic. Jeremy,
it brings back a lot of memories.
Yes. You know what? Let's just get in there before Batman shows up. And if you know, you know. You know what? We're having a different kind of conference here where our chief engineer and our doctor aren't in on it. It is now just DePaul and Archer, because I suppose that Hoshi's still injured, and we have people that we don't know doing a lot of stuff. Like I would have maybe had Mr. Reed in on this one. I would have had one more person in on this one. The leadership dynamic of this ship has not adjusted to Trip leaving at all. Archer was just like in denial of it the whole time. He made no plan. How come he has no engineer and no tactical? It's just, I mean, DePaul can cover it. This is not a foolhardy meeting, but as far as from a leadership perspective, it's not too cool to the guys taking over these jobs. Like the captain won't need you at today's security and engineering meeting.
What was the engineer really need to be there for? He let Trip be there because he's his friend and he trusts him. The new
Trip
guy
had valuable military input, but you're right, it wasn't on point with his engineering stuff. But he was able to say stuff like, "Sir, I can get 20% more out of the phase cannons. Sir, 2 weeks, $1 million, sir." Stuff like that. By the way, I saw you answer Trev Retro. "Sir, Steam's better." I didn't have time to cut the video.
Oh yeah,
that was great. Steam is better. I just imagine him looking at that and being like, "Teague has the strangest friends."
He probably didn't get the reference.
I think once you see Trump, you're figuring out like, what did he say? Maybe he Googled it. The purpose
he may have, but he's across the pond, isn't he, Trevor Retro?
Yeah, he wishes he had it so good. They've got some guy named like Steer Karmer. He's a weirdo. Anyway, they game out their next move as Reed has a very bridge of very spyish kind of meeting with Section 31. It's like, "You were with us first. You're going to do what we say." And then we find out. Now, this is Sean. Remember the problems that we had when we got that little bit of a problem when we were first doing Enterprise for Dr. or Dear Doctor? So let me explain. The Klingons are making auglicants, right? And they're messing around with their Levi's. And they're going to develop a hypo spray. Okay? That's how we're going to handle this one. Guys, it's YouTube Double Talk. Welcome to freedom of speech. Welcome to freedom of speech.
She was attacked by what appears to be essentially a robot.
I'll let Spock misgender me to make the point that the AI could just come in there and take umbrage at that. With like, this is now, the mistake before notwithstanding, I was never going to put AdSense on for the stream because whenever medical stuff comes up in Star Trek, we found that sometimes the computer can't tell, which is why the disclaimer is not to watch with your browser tab open, although for a moment it will be, as we say. Please understand that this is a science fiction review about a sci-fi TV show from the early 2000s, and no real medical problems are being spoken about. They are from a science fiction story. This is at best allegorical to real life. To fill in Star Trek canon, it's a Star Trek story about Star Trek. That having been said, in our Star Trek story, we have some prisoner Klingon scientists, so it looks like Gaiden wasn't the first, huh? Who knew? Who knew? This guy doesn't wear a skirt. He's got a little bit of honor.
You know the ironic thing is like they'll flag and mute or suppress shows like if you talk about the things, but in the middle of it you're going to see an ad for some pharmaceutical thing or the other.
Well, what's really funny is they'll say to you, it's like you were too salty or you did like the wrong thing, so we're striking you. But also the best thing to fix it would be we're going to keep all the money you made from AdSense during that show and all the AdSense money it'll ever make. And it's like Dear Doctor was one of the biggest uploads we had. It didn't hurt the upload. To be fair, the upload part 2 was the one that got flagged, so that never happened. So whatever. Okay. Moving on. The Klingons discuss their problems and how they've been messing with their Levi's. They've had every kind of Levi's you can imagine, and they're trying to get the mix right because they found out about what happened at Cold Station 12 and at Borderland, and these Auglicants the Federation couldn't deal with, jacked the Klingon bird of prey, giving us enough cause and effect that we're not just looking to. I mean, we did want a story with the Klingons and the cranial ridges, but we're not just messing around here. Like, we seem to have had a plan, and also we've laid a good enough foundation. This to me seemed like a respectful use of their own developed build up to this story, that they might have even left that with that in mind in there. What do you think?
Yeah, I believe
Jermo,
so.
it's you. What do you think of their level of artfulness in doing it?
It's a bit of an awkward situation. There's no real perfect way to go about it. I think they did it about as well as could be expected.
And once again, I think that this brings a lot of closure to questions Star Trek fans had. And I think that this was possibly as good or better than any other explanation we had ever gotten for why this happens to the Klingons. But their set is great. And once again, this could be a painting.
Things JT Kirk does not like. What is that from, by the way?
Oh, that's when JT Kirk gives whenever JT gives any of his views, if he starts getting into like a long negative rant where he's just like, this scene is totally botched. Like, I bring that up right away. If you notice,
I mean, when you'll phrase stuff like, I do not like when this, like, there's a phrase you use. And I
got it from the way JT delivers his criticisms. What it's like, and I did not like the horror movie that Ambassador Saval showed Captain Archer at the Vulcan embassy. I thought it was inappropriate. And then earlier he was like, I did not like when they were saying she was shell or what it was. I've noticed that he had a pattern of saying like does not like with like more emphasis. Like, I do not like the paper towels hanging in the background. So I made sure to make that banner that way for him with the all caps does not like. So it wasn't a plain old crazy rant. It represented the way he puts the emphasis on the syllables because it's funny. I did not like when Ambassador Saval. It crystallized in my mind as a banner that had to be made with the episode where the Vulcans show them the horror story of the Delphic Expanse with the Vulcan Event Horizon. He's like, I did not like when Ambassador Saval forced Captain Archer to watch the Vulcan horror movie. I thought it was inappropriate.
Okay, I thought it was a reference to an episode of some character that like emphasized words that way.
No, it's our own JT's way of delivering the criticisms. Like every once in a while, if something really gets to him, like that was like his gambler's tale. It's like I did not like.
You know what I picture when you do that? I picture Lord Garth. Like that's something Garth would say. You know, like I do not like it.
And that's better than what I was thinking. All I can see is I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam. I am.
I do not like hologram Sam.
I do not like a Sirius Access Mill at all. No. But like, please, watching with your browser tab open for a little while super helps our analytic. By the way, I want to say thank you all for the 1 whole minute overall for a channel that's a few years old in the hang time for the channel aggregate. So it's going up. And like, remember, a lot of times I'll make 5-minute videos, and even with 100% completion, that's going to drag down the 25 that you guys watch when we do live. So, you know what? Like, we really have gotten a response to our plea to watch with the browser tab open, and we appreciate it because we provide a pretty darn good show here. And you know what? There are enough visuals in our show. So Dr. Phlox is told here that he's going to do what he's told and that the Klingons will assist him. And he's like, what? He's like, yeah, you're head of the project. He's like, well, I always wanted promotion. I didn't think it would come like this, but my moral fiber won't get in the way of this because I have none. Dr. Phlox is a Chad in this episode. I don't know if it's in that sequence or one yet to come. But when the Klingons spell out how high the stakes are and tell him that he's going to make Klingon auglicants, he's like, I won't assist you. And they're like, well, then you'll die. And he's like, I don't want to die, but I won't do it. And it was really good acting, but I don't know how for Phlox, he'd be like, you should have broken out Dr. Soong, and they gave the right answer. We tried.
Well, it reminded me a little bit of what we're going to see in A Mirror Darkly, because when he didn't want to cause harm, he's like, well, I guess I could save the Emperor and get a harem.
We might take a second bite at that, considering that it was
I was going to ask.
Halloween.
I think we should.
It was only done for Halloween, and it wasn't really graded. I could unlist the first one and make this one our official one.
I'll see if
I'll think about that one. Yeah, we're watching chat for your reaction. Maybe I could take a poll in the channel member posts.
Yeah, like should we do In a Mirror Darkly? Maybe we could do it in one night, or did you want to split it into two shows?
Well, we don't have to. I think that was like one of the last ones we watched, right? Or no, we've watched all of this season. We haven't watched during the show all this season. All this season has been pure review. So, yeah, we could do it. We could probably do it all in one night because it's one story. We'll see. I think we can. Tonight will tell us a lot about our ability to do one episode. Notice we haven't had any breakdowns. We got so much relief out of that marathon. It almost didn't last at the beginning of this show, with the 5-hour and 15-minute finale of a final damage report for Starfleet Academy ends. Like, that was cathartic, huh? I woke up so tired the next day, but it was all out of me. I felt as if a man waking up with first day where you recovered from the flu, like you don't have your full strength back, but you're no longer sickened.
Yeah, I watched a few reviews of it, and that's a common sentiment people are having, is like people seem exhausted and yeah, well, both.
It's mentally exhausting to watch that and keep track of how much stupidity is going on. And if you love Star Trek, it's really painful.
Well, it's like you're relieved, but you're relieved and tired, but you're still so angry. You know?
Yes.
I don't know where we are in the 7 stages of grief right now, but
there's no grief. We're still in denial. We're totally in denial because we are pretty sure that our pal Mike Sussman will pull off Star Trek United on the TV side. And like, as far as the movies go, if they don't get it right the first time, just like, pull the eject button on the crew, wait 2 years, try another crew. You know what I mean? Like, I would even say, like, because we've been so steeped in tragedy, we shouldn't do it. But maybe an original kind of Star Trek movie, and maybe one that isn't modeled on a Bond movie the way the JJ ones were. Like, we don't need an exciting cold open every time. Like, we can build and do some world building. Like, I would like to a reintroduction to the wonder of the final frontier. I don't know about anyone else.
Well, maybe we can have a show about. It was a show I was suggesting before, or at least a segment of a show where each of us give a pitch of what we'd like to see next, or an idea that we have. Like, each of us to get like a few minutes to, pitch an idea of the next thing for Trek. Because I was thinking more about it today, and I think what they ought to do is they ought to go and do what BSG did, where they started with a miniseries.
Right.
Because
they never had a contract.
Yeah, you start with a miniseries, see how it goes. You make it the best you can do, but make it so you could spin it into a series if needed. But they could do one self-contained story over 5 episodes. They could do a short 5-episode, like a miniseries.
I was hoping
concise story.
I was hoping like a series of 90-minute movies. I think that would be ideal.
Yeah, that could do. But yeah, I mean,
like
we
one every season.
Now, but,
yeah, think about if every season we had a 90-minute Star Trek United movie. I think that would be excellent. And by the way, Kelby here is the new chief engineer of the Enterprise. I believe is he a dick in the mirror universe?
Is he the one that gets to experience the agonizer booth?
That's a Tellarite first.
Oh, that's right. They're always guilty of something, right?
That agonizer booth is never out of use from the minute it gets invented. It's like constantly in use. Dr. Phlox loves it. He's like, I don't want to leave the agonizer booth, but I will treat the patient after I'm done torturing this person. But here we have the captain's mess for the Columbia, and the Columbia's captain's mess is much like Archer's. Both ships seem to have a slightly bigger mess now. It looks like it's just a little bit bigger, and that last segment of light seems to be the extension. It's not as claustrophobic as it was when we heard the tale of Carbon Creek, and we can still see the space dock out the window, which is really cool and very TMP. We're borrowing from all forms of Star Trek here without really plagiarizing from any of them, because there's an originality to this story. Like, it's not really member burying.
No,
to say that our fleet still has ships that will launch. You know what I mean? Like, we've established this world. Like, this makes sense.
Well, not only that, but something like that, those little, I don't know what you call those things that hold the ship. You could use those for hundreds of years.
Yeah, the space docks, space dry docks.
Yeah, you can use. They're not really dependent on tech. It's just a little pincher claw that goes around it. It's
and there's a frame on there that you can mod out.
Yeah, very easily upgradable.
Infinitely upgradable. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just like today, you go to any coastal city, the piers, docking piers have been unchanged for hundreds of years.
There are some really modern ones from and modern as it's like the 60s, but I have been by the Brooklyn Navy Yard and I've seen stuff like from like the World War II era shipping stuff, like in the shipbuilding equipment. That's pretty impressive. But we got some great food here on the Columbia. She got it from the captain of the Republic's cook. She took him with her, and Trip and the captain further apart than we ever see anybody at the Enterprise table up until this season, when we've kind of redressed the Enterprise. And they have a conversation, and we find out Trip's real motivation. And I was sad when he said it a little bit, because I've come to really love the Trip character, and I think he's really well acted, and I always enjoy when he's on screen. And when he says, I'd rather work with colleagues than friends.
Mm.
And it's like, wow, you don't even want to have friends anymore. And you're not intending to be friends with these people. And she's like, so, okay, on that note, most of the engineering crew wants off this ship now. And he's like, so
but
I
you know what's
ruffled their
cool?
feathers.
She doesn't chastise him for it. She doesn't say change your ways, be nice. No, she's like, hey, it's
She
your
said fuck
department.
you to them. She refused their transfers and told them that they had no right to ask for them so late in the launch sequence.
Yeah, I mean, she advises him a little bit, but she still respects him enough that it's your department and you know what you're doing. We need to launch.
We've
and she
seen
knows
2
what he.
occasions. Go ahead, Jerm.
She made the same mistake with Archer, so she she's, if not knows outright, she suspects heavily why he left the ship. Because she made the same mistake with Archer years ago.
So she
Yeah, he knows. She's suspecting that. I think it's possible that she had watched New Trek and she suspects that Archer and Trip have broken up.
Yeah, it's weird. There's a lot I don't like about her character, but there's a lot I do.
I think she comes across as really competent.
Yeah, but I think of the writing of her. We can get to it later in the thing, but there's
I
a
don't
few
mind
lines
that
she
if it-
delivers that are very campy. Like, looks like you guys could use a hand. You know, shut up.
You know what? You might be right. If they made the sacrifice because the actress is kind of attractive, then I'm okay with it. Because the actress is kind of attractive.
Well, I don't think it's the actress. I think it was the lines they gave her. Where there's some things she says are a little campy. It's a little too rosy stuff. I don't know how to explain it, but maybe you can explain it better than I can. But I don't know if you even understand what I'm saying.
I was pretty happy with the
those
performance.
lines are improvised. They just
think so.
Wrote in Captain enters conversation, and she had to come up with something to get into the conversation.
Yeah,
Either
like when they
that or
show
what they
up and
had
she goes,
didn't
"Oh,
work."
sorry, we're a little late. Looks like you can use a hand." Like there's a couple things that.
Yeah, you know what? It's also possible that like at this point, this many years into Star Trek, some of that franchise fatigue, these are the things they're talking about. Like we've heard that line a million times.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was getting at.
I got you.
Didn't kill it for me, but it was just like a little bit of a groan.
So she's like, no one likes working with you, but you know, I don't care. And he's like, well, on that note, the ship will be ready when you said. And it's like, I was getting comfortable on the Enterprise, didn't dig it. And then this sequence is the one thing in the whole show that we're probably going to spend the most time talking about because this is weird. Earlier, what happened was Archer to Paul, with the help of Sirach through Archer, opened up a Skype call into Hoshi's brain. Now, because she used to press Trip's feet and also Skyped with Trip's brain, she has a Skype line with Trip. What we found out is she has not gotten to the part of the USB stick of Sirach that tells you how to end the Skype call. So she's having her very BSG moment here where she's having her meditation and all of a sudden we have the same kind of white light and featureless environment that we do see when this happens in BSG. And we see Trip and he's like, what are you doing here? And she's like, why are you here? And you know, we don't fetishize their shoes or spend a lot of time like confusing us with a handheld camera moving around really fast, and there's appropriate music and sound. And they have a conversation that pretty much makes sense and is true to the characters. And you know, Trip is pretty like himself in here. It's like, and then we get a really cool. This makes up for some of the other problems. Like, this is a pretty cool line. It's like, this is my daydream. Why don't you go away?
Yeah.
Meaning that, like, is this going on, or is this because now this is an indication that this is not her hallucination?
Yeah, and then Picard, Q, and Cisco show up.
It was a pretty good line. They could have added a little bit of comedy to it by saying, like, this is my daydream, you go away, or at least bring me a beer, put on a bikini.
He's like, Man, I was just thinking about Hoshi. Get out of here.
I was trying to think about Hoshi. That would be great.
I was having a fantasy about me and Rodriguez.
Well, as
on the
we
captain's chair.
As we found out earlier, you know what? He was kind of thinking about Hoshi too, because Hoshi's thinking about him. So she's sort of in on the Skype call. We're going to find out later. But let's just take a look at Jolene from this very flattering angle for a moment, as she kind of recovers from whatever the hell has gone on. And we have found the Regillian ship.
It does look like the Galactica.
It looks specifically like the 2.0 one, too.
It looks more like original to me.
Really? I thought this part here up front really does look like the front of the new one.
Well, hold on.
The way it has the ridging here.
I'll be right back. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, I think someone was working on a model before they switched jobs.
Hold on.
Yeah, this might have been early concept art, huh?
Okay, hold on. You're going to have to turn on my camera here.
Oh, I know that. Well, you have to turn on your camera. I just have to embiggen you.
Well,
Germ
yeah,
just,
well,
don't Germ make me just too gave big. A really valid thought that you that you missed. Sean said maybe their model maker is already working on concept art.
I don't know. This looks pretty. This is OG right here. So
I begged my dad for the $7 to buy that model when it was on sale at the fucking store in town. He's like, $7? What do you think I made of, buddy? Yeah. It's like 11 minutes pay for a New York City police officer.
And this is that model is from that era too. I think I paid.
Yeah, you got the one I wanted. So it didn't appreciate so much that I should have bought it and built it, or even bought it and left it in the box, because I wonder what $7 buying power from 1979 was now. But back at the Klingon research station,
I should get one and build it for you.
Oh, my apartment's not big enough. You can't build me any more ships.
It's not that big.
Oh, okay. What the hell? I'm never getting laid again.
I meant the model, not your apartment. You can find a 12-inch space for it. Come on. Put the bong in the closet and you'll be fine.
I haven't combusted marijuana in like 8 months now, or anything else. I've totally quit all smoking for like almost getting on towards a year. But
yeah, that's why you can put it in the closet now.
I can finally put it away, and I can stop carrying a lighter with me. Anyway, back on the Klingon medical research facility, what's going on in our sci-fi story is that Dr. Phlox is finding out now that the Klingons have been messing around with their Levi's. They have had acid wash. They have had giant silver tab balloon-sized ones that look like clown pants. They have had hammer-sized pants. They're trying to figure out where to go. They don't know what to do with a pair of 501s, these Klingons. And they did it because of the Auglicants we saw in Cold Station 12. And those Auglicants did get their hands on a Klingon ship. These are augments. In Enterprise, we gave them some qualities of replicants, so we're calling the Enterprise augments Auglicants. It just makes more sense, and it's fun to say. But this is where the Klingons basically telling them this is like appeal to our high council. They don't know about this, and he's like, well, how about we call the interspecies medical exchange? And they're like, we hacked their computers a long time ago. He's like, that's not ethical. He's like, but it's going to save lives. What do you care? And he's like, well, I'm not the most ethical doctor, as we find out. But in this one, he is actually perfect. And did they make him yet another costume for this? Or did they we finally got the original one back from the cleaners, sir?
Well, no, he was kind of on shore leave when they caught him. So it's like his civilian clothes. You're
right. It's a different costume altogether. It's not his Enterprise doctor uniform.
That's good attention to detail by the costume designers and the set designers and the director. Wouldn't see that in today's iteration.
So at this point, there's a fashion craze, a fashion epidemic, if you would, on the planet that these Klingons are occupying. It's a Klingon colony world, and all the Klingons are having cranial ridge problems because their Levis are all messed up. I guess it's the acid wash is too tight and it's affecting their reproductive skills or whatever. Or maybe they watched Starfleet Academy and their dating habits are changing. I don't know. Let's just say that the way Alex Kurtzman would put it was these Klingons are transforming. And it's all over the planet, and they're doing the penultimate solution on them. They're absolutely just wiping out their own people. They're pulling a Kodos, the destroyer. They're everybody who's got the disease, they're just deleting them. And
or
and
in modern terms, they're pulling a Cuomo.
Yeah. So at any rate,
yeah.
Well, I'll put it in private chat. But they confront Phlox with the medical ethical thing here is that this whole planet, if we don't get this under control, the high command is going to consider it fucked, and they're going to like nuke the whole thing from orbit.
It's the only way to be sure.
It's the only way to be sure. As I type away, because I'm too dumb to type and talk at the same time. And that's just the way I feel about that. But the Klingons are just like, you're going to do what we say, or you're going to die. And this Klingon is like, please, a dishonorable way to die. And, he's having a normal Klingon reaction. And Phlox is like, no, I mean, we don't need this Klingon to die. And the Klingon doctor has a Klingon doctor's point of view that makes sense for a Klingon who's a doctor. He's like, he doesn't say, let me go put on my skirt and think this over. and I got to go ask my two fathers to call my mother for me and have some woman explain her wisdom. No, he says, like, it's honorable to give one's life in this endeavor. And Phlox is like, no. And the commander just blasts him. Uncle Philip just blasts him. It's James Avery. It's Uncle Philip.
Who was the Klingon lawyer when wasn't Archer on trial in one episode?
He has an advocate, but I don't know if he's on trial. Is it the one where
they show parts of the trial?
Arguing out what happens with Duras and the Marauders situation where the guys get where they fight those Marauders, but those guys were real dicks. And then the other situation where they rescued the Klingons from the gas giant comes up in it too.
Yeah, but as I recall, like that guy was similar. Like we're looked down upon as attorneys or lawyers because we're not warriors.
All non-warriors.
It's North Korea. What can I tell you?
But we have two instances in just an Enterprise where they better explain a non-warrior Klingon than what we see recently.
And do as good of a job as they ever did. They could still have
their own sense of honor. Like they still show them.
And their own sense of Klingon purpose. Yeah, he's like, it's honorable to do this research. It's honorable if he dies in this endeavor.
Yeah.
From our Klingon point of view, this makes perfect sense. And this Klingon can go out on top. And then it's just like they debated for a little too long. And like Uncle Philip's like, I'm not having this shit. Carlton, shoot him. Blam. And so instant cadaver. And then Reed's messing around his computer, talking to Section 31 again. And he's like, we can just restore your browser history, Reed, and send that to your captain if you really do. Your family could be sent your browser history and what you did with your security abilities to get your, filthy eyes inside DePaul's cabin. And
he's like, you're British. You said something that offended somebody once. I can bring that to the public eye.
We've got you on tape misgendering Jesse Gender. So here we go. He's telling Reed, you're going to do what we say. And he's just like, I don't know how much longer I can keep lying to the captain, to which the Section 31 guy just goes, Orion, pirates frequently attack this system. It was like very spy-like. They got a great guy to play this spy, as you said earlier, and he's got some gravitas to it. Oh, this character's a dick, but the actor brings gravitas to it.
Yeah, well played.
We believe he could pull off what he could saying he's going to do, and it's better than Admiral O from fucking Picard season 1. Remember their Section 31 idiot?
Oh yeah.
Or Michelle Yeoh as Section 31 bestest ever person. It's just that Section 31 did so much enormous damage to Star Trek. It's just that I think that's over with. They thought that Star Trek was the problem, so they still do. So the first attempt at rebrand was Section 31. The second attempt was Starfleet Academy. Neither one worked. But they've kept the Star Trek name more or less off of the shows, which hasn't, has done a little bit to help. So Reed is trying to say, we can trust the captain. We don't have to be clandestine. And they're just like, spy's going to spy. And Reed continues working with Section 31 rather than do the right thing and tell Archer. And I think it's time for Malcolm to come clean. Who else thinks that Malcolm in the middle is some bullshit? He needs to go and tell his boss.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you really should at this point.
You can protect yourself from Section 31, and really, what interest would they have in killing him if he told Archer? Just don't tell him about Section 31.
Yeah.
Or, tell him to read the Starfleet chapter, not Section 30 and not Section 32. He'll figure it out. If our audience can figure out Swish House, he can figure out that.
And unfortunately, we're going to see a rehashing of this dilemma in the final episode.
Yeah, unfortunately, the final episode is not the best. In fact, it's one of the worst. The Klingons beam aboard. They want everything. They pull some sabotage. They mess some crap up. They kill a few crew members. And they transport out. However, we've got one. And we don't know exactly what he is.
Klingon Jesus. Yeah, here.
Yeah, this guy looks very TOS Klingon, though.
Yeah, he does. He really does.
But they did a great job because I had forgotten how they do this, and I knew they were using operatives. So I'm like, he's a Regillian or something.
No, he's Carlton. He's the son of the general.
It's Will's friend Jeff, who's in some episodes, who definitely isn't smoking pot in Prince's room with him. But so Hoshi's like, whoa, he's speaking Klingon. And this was a line that I thought could have been better too. It's like, rather than there must be some kind of mistake, something akin to fascinating, or these readings are anomalous, or we have our answer. Something like that. Because this is sort of T'Pol's waiting to help the humans be part of this is sort of like T'Pol could square this circle herself. And I just love this uniform on her. And her eyes are up here, but Scott Bakula's no dummy.
He's not. I'm human after all.
So the first guess is he's surgically altered.
He says there are certain things that men must do to remain men.
Captain,
quick, what episode that's from? What episode
I believe it's from Of Bread and Circuses. Isn't that the Pro Council's line?
That is from The Ultimate Computer.
Ah, is that something that Kirk says to Daystrom, or is that something that McCoy says to Kirk?
Yeah, he says your computer will take that away.
Your computer, take that away from us. And yeah, in Star Trek, we never go heavy droid. Although, rewatching as I promised,
Roger Corby did.
Yeah, that's true. Why can't we have a super hot Andrea like Roger Corby had? But as I promised, I watched the end of Starfleet Academy. I watched that episode today. That was so much worse than you guys were able to get across.
Wait, what did you watch?
I watched a lot of TV today, but I watched the end of Starfleet Academy.
Again?
No, I didn't get a chance to watch all of it the first time. So I watched it. It was so much worse than you guys. We could do another whole show about what we missed. It was terrible. 5 hours is enough, but it was terrible.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm fucking done.
So they've sabotaged the computer. She's going to try to rebuild the computer core, find out what they can find out. And Reed's like, I'm going to do a few sus things now. I've got my little opportunity here. So now we find out that they've been importing Levi's from humans and putting them on Klingons. And he's like, you should just buy Sassoons. They'll fit you better. And it's not going to work out. And the Klingons, they don't want Calvin Klein. They're very specific. They want Levi's only. And they wanted Klingon
I haven't thought of Sassoons in so long.
I figured I had to have some fun.
I'm
but
more
I like
of a Wrangler guy, but
I find that the newer Wranglers are good, but their label sucks. It's like a big piece of rubber over the pocket. You have to tear it off.
Oh,
it always gets in the way. two rubber jokes in two shows, people. We're gonna keep it going. But honestly, this could be a painting you can hang on your wall. Another beautifully framed, beautifully lit, beautifully filmed segment where the music and the ASMR were perfect. Just for a moment here, this was a very well directed and filmed episode, guys.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
This freeze frame pretty representative of the artistry we see throughout. I mean, this is a pretty good moment. Just stopped it randomly. It looks great. I want to know more about this just from this. And that's what we've lost in Star Trek. We really have. So then he tells them, we know about the Auglicants. We found some of their DNA in the wreck. We found some of their DNA in the wreckage at the crime scene. And that's how we decided to make designer jeans for everybody. We want Levi's, and we want we want Calvin Klein's, and even Ralph Lauren will probably try to get into this, but he'll probably end up rebranding them as Polo. We don't know. We just know that all the Levi's we could get our hands on. We want Levi's. We want Calvin's. We want it all. But unfortunately, when we wear our Levi's, we start to become retarded. And we need you to fix that in time to keep the high command from leveling this planet because it's now out of control. And he's like, it's airborne? And they're like, why didn't you tell us? And they're like, well, you got 5 days to fix it. And he's like, what the fuck? And as that's going on back on the Enterprise, we have our teamwork challenge with two beautiful women working together. This is a hard-won friendship, but now we're paying it off in the final episodes, and we're taking for granted that they're friends because we've shown that they're friends, and we've told the story of it throughout these 4 years. They didn't always get along so well, and I thought that the cat fight in the mirror universe we're setting up here, showing them as friends now, is being well done.
Yeah, and then a frog-looking old guy with little beady glasses comes on and says, wear a mask.
Exactly. All right. So subconscious thoughts are often exchanged. And this is when they find out that Hoshi was sort of in on their Skype call. And I don't think Paul tells her what you saw was a shared experience with you, me, and Trip. I think she was just like, just maybe a little static from that Skype call that I had with your brain. I don't think she keeps it minimal, and like that's in character for T'Pol. I don't ever remember. What did she say?
She said it wasn't a three-way, Hoshi.
It was a three-way call, but it wasn't a three-way sexual.
Yeah.
This is when Archer now confronts, talks to his officers about what happened. And the investigation is run without Reed because Archer's given him a couple of side eyes already. So it makes sense that he has T'Pol and Hoshi do it. They're the last people left in the ship he super trusts. They find out that he's been messing around, and that's his comm transmitter or whatever he's using to hack into the communication system to use it. And he keeps it in a certain locker And he also has information to get into that area that only 3 people have: him, T'Pol, and Reed. Archer, T'Pol, and Reed. So Alpha 4 are higher access to get to the black box. So Archer doesn't even hesitate. He knows it's not T'Pol. He gives Malcolm one more chance to come clean. Malcolm lies again. He's like, "What the hell is going on? Respectfully, sir. I'm not working for the Klingons." He's like, and the line in this that really hit the heaviest for me, the best line in this series, has to be, "You've betrayed that uniform and everything it stands for," delivered unironically with absolute command, masterfully, in a way that conveyed both more disappointment than anger, but the anger's in there. I thought that this was one of Bakula's finest moments, and I thought that Reed did a great job with him. Well, yeah? Okay, go ahead. Please expand.
No, I agree. Bakula did stellar with this, and it reminded me from Picard in The First Duty when he just dresses down Wesley, and when with Riker, actually, in the Pegasus. He's like, "Hey, you've been my trusted guy for a long time, but fuck you."
Yeah. And you know what? Like, you've had your own agenda the whole time, you motherfucker. He doesn't send him to his quarters.
Yeah, his Archer's New York comes out here.
Yeah. He's throw this motherfucker in jail. He's like, "Starfleet is broke and only I can fix it." But this set is used a lot in the Mirror episode, so I guess they knew they needed it, so we use it here. And it really heightens. Reed is rethinking his fucking life. He's like, "My God, I'm Sleaze Baggio. I am the most horrible Starfleet person in the world. I have no honor. I'm a fucking spy. I'm in over my head. I have no real friends. I don't deserve them." Like, basically, like, I would have him on Epstein watch. How about you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's ready to go Steinep. Like, there's no towels in here for a reason. But Archer,
we do get some great interactions with him and this Klingon. It's really good writing here that we're about to see.
Yeah. Archer smacks him down.
He's locked up. He's still trying to help out whatever way he can by trying to needle at the Klingon.
And also, Archer doesn't know what to believe from Reed anymore, and it's bothering Archer, and it's bleeding through. And like, for all the skill that Scott Bakula has, he's pouring it into this moment where it is just going great. Hey, Tetrarch, it's good to see. A few people have come in. The Dead Man is here. Hello, Dead Man. The Tetrarch is here. Kal-El, I greeted you. Anyone else that I miss? Hello, Michelle Fairy Tales. It's good to see you. Trek Reviewer, hello. And I said hello to Wallace Lang. I'm just skimming back a little bit further because I know we've been heavily into this episode. Here's the thing. I'm sorry that I've been slow on the greetings today. All the 5-hour shows, it really did take a toll on the crew. And in fact, both Germ and Sean reported to sick bay with new Trek fatigue. And,
yeah, we did.
You know what? This time I'm going to look the other way. But Admiral Gardner called me to his quarters and disciplined me for slapping that other guy who had new Trek fatigue. For slapping Krimlon. Admiral Gardner disciplined me for slapping Krimlon for having new Trek fatigue. I'll have no cowards in my army. Krimlon will be back tomorrow for the Paramount Report, I hope. And he'll have some fun with that one and find a way to call me gay over it. He always does.
Motherfucker, you.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Ensign Pesci. Or Commander Pesci. You've been with this ship since it launched. You know what? He's got
I was trying to find the shut up clip. That would have been perfect.
Oh, hey, the Dead Man with a $4.99 super chat says, Sean brought up a good point. The Celestial Temple, the Guardian Space, Mind Space, Tapestry all looks the same. I never thought about that. And Tapestry all looks the same. I never thought about that.
Yeah, didn't they do it in they did it in it's an old trope though. I think they did it in the original BSG too.
Overlit area.
Yeah, it's just a symbolic thing for another realm.
Ethereal, featureless plane with nothing from our world to anchor it into reality to make it as weird as this is.
They do it in the Matrix too. It's a common thing.
And it was done enough to be understood, but now what we do is we reduce their dialogue to nothing. We move the exposition somewhere else, and we have that scene anyway, but it's overwhelming visually and really short with no or minimal dialogue. And they blow most of the budget on that, and it gets performed badly because they don't hire good actors or experienced actors. Sean, how fucked up was it when the 25 union hires thing explained everything? If they hired a few more, if they couldn't hire a few more union actors to pay for the background actors, they're like, damn it, like we only need 10 actors anyway. We're not paying for 15 just so we can hire 30 more to have background actors. And they're like, how about rendering some exocomps? Fuck no, I'm paying off my Porsche.
Yeah.
So that anyone want to react to the dead man's very prescient point?
Well, yeah.
Patrick's Day meme, I love it.
But yeah, it's a common thing in sci-fi. I'm cool with it. They did it in BSG. They did it in all those shows that Dead Man mentioned, and they did it in The Matrix. They did it in what's the thing? They did it with when Trip got pregnant too. That little weird holodeck thing where he was with that alien. They did a bit of a just a plain white. When
he was tripping just a bit there from the bath salts that he did.
Yeah, and that's fine. You got to save money where you can, and that's the proper way to do it. You make it part of the story. Like, hey, there's no set design. Well, here's why.
Yeah, and also like it really is a little bit of a drag to be able to try to like illustrate another world by putting things from our world in it. So just like a place filled with light where you're out of space and out of time. They even did it on Only Murders in the Building for some strange reason. So yeah, that TV trope well used enough for them to have an excuse to say that it's conventional. By the way,
and it could be that each character is experiencing something different, so you can't really form one perspective over another.
And thank you to the dead man, but you know what? Sean didn't see this, and maybe a few people weren't here before, but Germ really enjoyed this image as Germ turns his head away in horror, knowing what's coming. Did you see this on X? These
God,
pictures
I saw that.
of the new Trek cast. Every person is weirder than the one before. This was the weirdest thing.
What the hell is that? Is he trying to do a West Side gangsta sign or something?
I think he's being a dick, and I think that he's giving us the finger English style as best he can without actually doing it all the way.
Or he just doesn't fucking know what he's doing.
Or he's doing it wrong on purpose to express contempt. I feel like there's contempt there. I also feel like every single person here is confused. I said this before, but this bears repeating. She bought her emotional support animal, but that animal is nervous by nature and needs a thunder shirt to reassure it. Who's there for who?
Wait, who is that?
I don't know. I think it might be Kurtzman's wife.
Well, she has a fucking dog with her?
Yeah, because they're assholes.
For fuck's sake.
Also, look at Kurtzman's suit. It's a wreck. Could his suit be maybe a little more wrinkled? And look at his shoes.
He's wearing the Pee Wee Herman outfit without the bow tie.
He's so close.
That is literally the Pee Wee Herman outfit. He just needs a red bow tie and is complete. And
it's been redesigned in gray linen Miami Vice style. It's like Crockett could wear that suit too if he just wore a pastel T-shirt underneath.
And look at Frank's trying to fucking hide back there.
He's punking Carl Urban. He's like, "You're cool. I'll cross associate with you. I know how to work the Hollywood social thing. My wife is Jeannie Francis. Who's that? Like, she makes a lot of money. Oh, good. Way to go, mate. Whatever." And Brent Spiner's back there, just happy to be there. And Robert C3 Picardo is just like, oh, look at the dog. I've said a few things that went a bit too far in a few places. And if you look at him, he also double shifted his pants. He's like, I'm not bringing these to the goddamn cleaners for this. And
yeah, he's fully on board.
Is that New Jack? Yeah, but he doesn't care. He's fully on board with the rhetoric, but he doesn't care. Is that New Jack from Picard 3 at the end in the gray suit?
Oh, I don't.
Not too sure who that guy is.
He's doing the full spread right there.
At least he knew how to. Yeah, at least his Klingon gang sign is a little more authentic than the one that Kurtzman's doing. And then there's this weird guy in the back here, like behind Kurtzman. We figured it out. It's Todd Stashwick. He'll be in Star Trek one way or another because he's down with both Sussman and Kurtzman. But weird, as Rachel Ziegler would say. And what is, in the words of Khan's henchman, I believe Gaetano says this to Uhura, how do you restore picture? Like this, sir.
What, you didn't want to comment on the girl that played Sam there with her stupid face again?
You know what? I will, because I isolated her. We this is our second time doing this, but I'll show it one more time. Series Access Mill made it into the picture, and she also she has to out weird everybody all the time. I don't know what it is. It's happening too often. She also, again, out blacks every single human person I knew growing up in the same neighborhood with LL Cool J. These are people who were born in Jamaica around the same time as I was. LL Cool J, Russell Simmons, all of Run DMC are a few years older than me. I think LL might be the same age. I don't know. Isn't he like 55 or something like that? Me, him, and Neutrotic are all around the same age. But like we all saw, if you're a member of the channel, watch the origin tale for Admiral Teague, and I tell you about where I come from. And then some of the other people, like Nicki Minaj is from my neighborhood. Lamar Odom is from my neighborhood. If you notice, there's a theme, and like, let's just say Admiral Teague just didn't fit in quite as well. And also, like, that might be where I learned to keep my political opinions to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just a little. Although 50 Cent from my neighborhood also has not a lot of love for Ma'am Dammy, but I don't know why she always has to be the weirdest person on screen and the weirdest person on camera.
I say this, and I'm trying not to be mean. There's something weird going on with that girl.
She was not emotionally ready for this, and then they did this to this
Admiral
poor woman.
Teague, incoming super chat.
It's just another reminder, says the dead man with a generous $4.99 Greenlandian greenback super chat. It's just a reminder that Orsi should have been the showrunner if we had to have someone from JJ's team. I think it was supposed to be everyone had equal power, and Kurtzman is just that hard to work with. And Orsi has passed away. So like that, Orsi was with it until like a couple years before the end, but he had cancer. I think it was just like, he didn't have the energy to try to nerf the worst instincts of Kurtzman anymore. And you could see the flashes of it in the first season of Strange New Worlds, where here and there some things aren't as stupid. Those have been edited out to be stupider, I think. When I rewatched it, it seemed that it had been edited out to be stupider. But I think we've tormented our audience with Series Acclamation Mill having a bad face day, bad face life long enough. So Mr. Reed, and thank you very much to the dead man. Yeah, I don't know why we bought over Kurtzman. Orsi does seem to be the one who has a little more talent. Yeah, it's an Akiva Kurtzy production. But thank you very much to Dead Man. We appreciate your super chat. And thank you so much for supporting the channel as our mission continues. Hey, we've got the attention of the right people. We are considered the fandom here, which is why we're trying to keep it in our pants a little bit as far as not being too crazy. But you know what? This is still the same show you subscribe to. And I think we got checked out long enough. I don't think anybody is above it anymore. I don't think the next people making Star Trek are only going to make it for the right kind of people. I think they're going to make stories that everyone's going to love and enjoy. I don't think Kurtzman's complaints will really be a big deal. Michelle says she's seen Jonathan Frakes doing the Vulcan salute backwards. He was with Nichelle in the picture. Maybe he's messing around. Maybe that's something that's like the people that they have come up with between themselves on all the conventions and Star Trek cruises that they've been on together. Maybe that's where it's from. Maybe it's an inside joke for all of them. Who knows? But thank you, buddy, for thanking the dead man. And Trek Reviewer, my friend, says, "Wow, the actress that plays Sam is only 25, and she looks at least 25 years older in that picture. She looks like 30, 35 most of the time. Yeah, she's like honestly, that is not a healthy weight for that. She is so short, or she is just so big. She is like, in some scenes, she looks healthier than others, but usually she's laying down because she's their body diversity like person. Like, they will do her certain favors while also trying to sell her to you as sexy. They won't. They didn't humiliate her the way they used to humiliate Tilly all the time. They humiliated Tilly this time by making sure we didn't see that she had lost all that weight. They hid her as much as they, and when they doubled her, that double was fatter than the fattest Tilly ever got. But yeah, it's just
her home planet. When they were designing the hologram, the computer says define parameters, and they said 5'2". And they said, is that height, width, or depth? And they said, yes.
I think someone just misspoke when they were creating the prompt. And when they said, and remember, black don't crack, they fucked up and said, and remember, black smokes crack. And they're like, she's black, she smokes crack. It's like that. And that's why she looks so aged. It's like Sirius Access Mill looks like she's a daily crack smoker.
Well, yeah, they said.
And she is revved up enough. That character's revved up enough.
Oh, that girl's on some stuff.
And hello,
yeah, she's like 5. She's 5'2" any way you measure.
Fans of pre 2009 Trek are the right people. Most others are a bit sketchy. Well, here's the thing: they didn't get fans; they got people who enjoyed their cause. Every person who's ever pushed back on me on this show, either I asked them something from the end of the episode, I asked them something from the third episode of the series, or I asked them why they approve of Star Trek putting so many actors out of work by not hitting union minimum or using any background actors. And they have nothing to say back because I just outwoked them. You know what? Play stupid games, get stupid prizes. But Admiral Teague's smart enough to go to school on your bullshit. And that's why we have freedom of speech when we talk about the Klingons, getting designer Levi's. They're going to acid wash these Levi's. That's what happened. That's why they're so fucked up. She did the Vulcan salute just like Leonard Nimoy Twitter, but Jonathan Frakes is an annoying prick too. Yeah, he is. Jonathan Frakes has burned all of his goodwill with original continuity people. I will say this and only this, because he really was so good all the time, even in Picard 3, at playing Riker when written in a way that was Riker-like. If you want to have him in 1 minute to deliver the news that we've lost Picard to the fleet in the next Star Trek movie as a handoff to show us the original continuity, you can do it. But because Riker's in both, I don't think it's advisable. The thing is, Jonathan Frakes, if given 1 2-minute scene to deliver that news to the captain of the new crew on via holo screen, so he couldn't fuck it up too much and someone else directed that, I do believe that he's played Riker enough to summon up a believable Riker. Even as shit Riker, he was believable as Riker. I will say that for him. He knows his character and he knows how to be convincing as Riker. They nerfed him. They made him a wuss. In Picard 3, when that changeling was beaten on Deanna, and he was like, get the hell away from my wife. If anyone beats her up, it's going to be me, you changeling son of a bitch. And he overswings, misses, throws himself into the wall, and then he gets beat up. At least he was trying to be a man. They wouldn't let him truly do it, but at least he tried to be a man. Like, Jonathan Frakes at least understands Riker. But that's enough praise for a guy who's deliberately antagonized us.
Admiral, check the subspace.
Yes, sir. and Ruby Rod. So as you can see, it is the mirror holding cell, and Archer breaks his heart here. What little he has left of self-respect is like the Malcolm Reed I knew, and which is implying that Malcolm Reed is a fictional construct in their world, because Malcolm Reed is a fictional construct. He's a Star Trek character. But what I'm saying is, Archer is saying to him, I thought I knew someone. I was out in the hull of this ship and like was willing to die for you with that Romulan mind. I've saved your life. You saved mine. I thought I knew you, but this is some sort of deep cover operation to fucking punk me. Why the fuck you want a problem with me, motherfucker? The Malcolm Reed I knew would do this before ever, would never do anything like this. He would die before he committed treason against that uniform and what it stood for. And also at this point, I was surprised that they didn't have like an orange jumpsuit for him, because seeing him in a uniform so pisses off Archer. So I don't know if that was something that they just didn't think of, because that could have been easily done. I don't think that would have been an expense. There's jail shows filming all over the place. Give him a jump. Like I would have loved the line. This is still a great episode, but I would have loved the line where Archer just said like, and I don't want to say, and like when the Mako took him away and it's like, and I don't want to see him in that uniform when I get to the brig either.
Yeah.
And I don't like seeing him in that uniform. I don't want to see him in that uniform ever again. Something like, because it means so much to Archer. We found that out in Vox Sola, a really slow episode where he was like, wasn't one of the weird rules, Captain, the harder you try to help us, the faster it drains you. And he's like, I don't care. I'll keep my crew alive. Jerm, were you trying to say something?
But the thing is, we know this isn't going to last. Unless they're going to take him out completely, we know he's going to be back. So that seems more like a waste of time.
I didn't feel that way, because at this point I didn't know the show was over, but I knew that they'd been killing people left and right. So I was like, maybe Reed gets himself killed trying to redeem himself. I thought was what was going to happen here, because that's going to start happening. We killed a couple of people we didn't have to already. You know what I mean? We killed Admiral Forrest. So like anything goes.
But if he's going to redeem himself, you want him in uniform.
You're right to a degree, although maybe I would have liked to have seen him cashiered as far as to tear the fucking badging and the pips off of his uniform.
Well, I did appreciate where later in the episode we see him do something and then he has to go right back to the brig. That was cool. Like he didn't get like an automatic forgive. Yeah.
Or even confinement to quarters. He was like, fuck you. I'm not having you communicate. Yeah. This is more about he's been hacking into the ship systems. He might, if Mayweather was equally like fucked up, he might let Mayweather ride it out in his quarters. But this is too much technical sabotage too. And
but it was cool.
He has some hatred for what Reed did. Did they throw him in jail? Yeah,
it was cool that they did that. And Archer channeled a little bit of Jellicoe there. Like, he still went to the guy that could do the job.
This is the kind of thing that Jellicoe quoted to some executive officer somewhere along the lines. Like, it's reading the logs of the NX-01 this morning. You should give it a try sometime. I found them enlightening. Did you know that Captain Jonathan Archer once relieved his head of security and had him thrown in the brig? Keep that in mind when you put together the Delta Shift, Riker. But he's showing a little bit of shades of Mirror Archer here, crazed Mirror Archer, where he's like so disappointed that like his emotions are all running at the same time. Like he's sentimental for like, what was the person I knew? Do they exist? Are they trapped in here? Can I still help him? To he's fucked over this whole mission and endangered my vision of uniting all these worlds. Like I've made substantial progress on this. I'm going to hand it off to the diplomats. I'm an explorer. I'm going to go back to exploring, and he fucked that up too. And Reed's emotions here are just like, I've disappointed a man who like was much more of a father than the father who doesn't even know that my favorite drink is water. His family didn't know what his favorite meal was. His family didn't know what his favorite color was. His family didn't know anything except that he liked to lock himself in his room and only speak when spoken to, and never volunteer anything because he was just a very quiet lad. But they never thought about it much. How old was he when he was recruited by Section 31? They're like the Jedi. They show up when you're 6. They're like, we just need to take your son away for some quick Federation tests, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you put it that way, he's the perfect damn spy.
Yeah, he is.
or his family is a cover and his real family was disappeared. He's like the boys from Brazil. It's like, be extra abusive to him so he grows up to be a good operative. Like, no problem, sir. All right, Malcolm, go to your room. But obviously his family is for real because he shames him, saying, your father would be ashamed after all his years in the Royal Navy, knowing that you were court-martialed for being a shit Starfleet officer. And he's like, no, I would help you if I knew. I don't know. And there's loyalties that run deeper than Starfleet. And Malcolm is technically correct, which in this case is not the best kind of correct, but he is being fake. Like, this is like saying like Malcolm's a constitutionalist, isn't he? But to a fault.
He's very black and white here.
He's a literalist who's realized he was wrong, but he made the promises when he was a literalist. His views have completely evolved, but he's locked in.
In a way, it's almost like, okay, I can trust this guy, right?
Like he's trying to feel out, where does the constructed personality end and where does the real person be? He's asking all those questions I just asked. Is his family constructed too? Is that why they didn't know anything? He's asking every single question we ask because he knows everything about Malcolm we do, except that he wore that really loud shirt on shore leave that time because I don't think Archer saw him on that shore leave.
Yeah, I mean, you can have a level of sympathy for Malcolm here. Like,
I don't even think Archer totally hates him. I think he's crushed. He's crushed. He was like, I was going to die with you how many times?
Yeah.
And he's also wondering what's for, like, there. He has not dismissed that he's being forced.
Not completely, but he's like, you can still trust me.
Back on this Klingon colony world, where they make designer Levi's and other acid-washed genes of that nature, they're saying, well, our Klingon Auglicans acid-washed the server on the Enterprise. I'm sure they'll never be able to rebuild that, even though they kind of have. And Uncle Philip is telling him here, you know what? The council will destroy this planet and everyone on it with no hesitation. They'll do whatever is required. You got 5 days to cure this. He's like, I can't cure it in 5 days. And he's like, how about you upgrade it and make it work in 5 days? Can you do that? And he's like, I won't help you. This is where he finally makes his refusal. And this guy's killed in front of him already. He's ready to do it. It's like, no, I can't cure this in 5 days. He's like, maybe we can stabilize the human DNA, force the council to give us more time to find a cure. And you could save the inhabitants of this planet. And this was, I have thought that Phlox is a flawed character, but a lot of the time, John Billingsley is a really good actor, in my opinion. I've seen him in other roles. I've always enjoyed him. And I'll go jump ball on that one. Guys, am I wrong about this one? Dr. Phlox isn't in the show a lot because he's like doing theater and shit. He's a good actor.
Yeah, he's a good actor. The character itself is a little unique because he's the first Denobulan. I think he was trying to put his own spin on the character, and he got away from him a few times. And I think
it's not a total fail. You're right. It's not a total fail.
Too unemotional about things.
He arcs away from that later on. But he is just. His race is closer in Vulcans to humans than it is as far as their interpretation of logic and fate. It wasn't meant to be, Captain. Yeah. He can live with that a lot easier.
Yeah, just a little too happy-go-lucky about things like the complete extinction of a species.
And you know what? Like that's why we love Mirror Phlox. It's like, kill it. It's like, with pleasure. He's like enjoying it. Like he can add a little bit of like what can I say? Like if he's handed a hot dog, like he will then become the mustard and sauerkraut to make it like, okay, I want another one of these. It's like he's doing a good idea. He can flavor his performance and twist this character in a few different believable emotional directions. And one of them was his experiment to be just very observant and like I guess we got to call this a home run, right? This is everything Neelix wasn't. We like him. He's interesting. He's off-putting, but it's in an interesting way. He's an interesting alien, but he's like, there are things about Dr. Phlox that are not human, including his take on compassion, just like the Klingon doctors, different take on compassion. What do you think, guys?
I've always liked Phlox.
I always love his performances.
Neelix, you don't want to skin him and put him down as a rug.
Yeah, Neelix, obviously, he was like an unappealing to behold alien. Ethan Phillips gets trashed as a bad actor. I feel that there are several episodes where I have emotions about Neelix, and that he has to overcome so much to make that happen that he must be a good actor. Anybody else on that one? Ethan Phillips did no wrong, so say we all.
Yeah, so say well.
Yeah.
I felt things when there's a couple of times when he talks about what a piece of shit he is that I was like, wow. I feel like his conflict. I feel in the episode that gets called out about how he left the people and he didn't like stay at his post as a soldier because he was afraid. I would point out that there's a guy who's afraid in Patton who redeems himself. Redemption after being afraid is possible. It's not his fault that when he was afraid, it was the worst possible situation. It's terrible, but we've had incidents where the guy in charge of guarding the school from people pew-pewing it ran away in many places, including Parkland. That guy was a piece of shit. And we would have created a lot less activists and had a lot less victims if that guy would have had the courage of his convictions and earned his pay. But you know what? We digress. But Star Trek bringing up some prescient points from our world here. You know, what's better to stabilize this DNA and maybe hand the Klingons this weapon, or to have, everyone on this planet get deleted? But you know what? I'm getting communication from the planet's surface. Again, I'm getting a weird anomalous reading on this one. It could be a piece of pre-animate matter that's stuck in the Matrix. I don't know. Sean, get out your phaser in case it's hostile.
Oh, it's ready.
Oh, I hope my preanimate matter made it. Sorry I'm here late tonight, but family matters. But
Mark Dulassie is never late. He arrives exactly when he intends to. We're doing the episode Affliction. It's the first part of a 3-part, I think, or is it 2-parter with the Klingons? Like, this episode starts out with the Ridges of the Warrior and ends with, smooth foreheads for everyone. Such a smooth forehead that Halle Berry would be jealous of.
Well, you know how it ends up in a certain universe that's not really Star Trek? The Klingons all lose their ridges and they all start dancing around in skirts at the end of the episode. Have you seen that new director's cut?
Of what?
No, I'm joking. Yeah, like Starfleet Academy, they all end up wearing skirts. Yeah,
I know they but the one where they dance and stuff, those are SNW Klingons, and those are orcs. They look normal, so it's like
I confused you.
This series has no idea what's going on with Klingons in New Trek. In old Star Trek, I'll ask you the question we asked everyone else. This has been called a question never asked, being answered. I'm gonna say I always kind of wondered how, are we just supposed to dismiss this? And I thought that it wasn't glaring or anything like that, but this was welcome new like non-lore, but like new interesting context. It was context to me. I really like this episode and this story.
Yeah, I love this too because this is explains something that you need a scientific explanation. You might not like it, you might not go with it, but now it's Trek canon. Kind of like how did Khan know Chekhov in the movie Wrath of Khan? And some people said, maybe it was below decks, or he Nicholas Merritt read all the manuals.
Montalvan say that he had to wait outside the bathroom forever, and he's like,
that was the joke that Chekhov he made up at a convention. But you
rushed Mr. Chekhov.
But you do want to have like a nice explanation for some of these things, and we never got one definitively for Wrath of Khan, but you can conceive of it, and the same thing.
what you're saying is so much stronger than headcanon. You have what I call an in-universe explanation. The in-universe on Ricardo Montalban's Khan, knowing who Chekhov is we see Khan from the bridge. They're watching him, and they're like, yep, he's reading all our top secret stuff just like he shouldn't. Jim, should we stop him? Nope. But he would never do anything wrong. It seems nice to me. You think he's Space Hitler? Yep, he could be. Yep, let's let him keep reading the top stuff. But like while he's reading it, like you could see from the computer flashing on the monitor flashing on Khan's face how fast he's reading. So he's reading as fast as he can push the click button. So it's click.
Yeah.
So he has instant speed reading and total memorization, and all this is set up in Space Seed. And the way that they do it, Nicholas Meyer's line is brilliant. He's like, he walks up to Terrell and he's like, I don't know you, Gilad. And then he walks over to Chekhov and he's like, but I never forget a face. And then he has to think for a second because he looked at 300 names in 1/2 a second 15 years ago. And he's like, Mr. Chekhov. And like, if they made that now, he would have been like, you weren't always a man. Like, they would have added that on. But welcome aboard, Mark.
Great to be here. Yep.
We're getting close to the end of our episode here, but
you're only doing the first part tonight, right? Or you're doing both parts?
Yeah, we're not going. But there's so much. There's so little Enterprise left, and we got a couple wrong that there's going to be a period of correction and reconsideration of Enterprise before we jump into TOS. And we might like even jump franchises and do like one BSG or something like that. Something different, like once in a while, keep it fresh. And keep our Star Trek perspective.
Yeah, travel on impulse power, not warp 9 it through the series, right? Yep.
Just give me a tall ship and a star to steer upon, Mark.
Yeah.
But here, Uncle Philip tells him that Carlton and Jeff, the Fresh Prince's friend, are going to do a drive-by on this planet if we don't get shit together quick. So Phlox decides he doesn't want to die, and this character's smart enough to do what he pulls off doing, which is a little bit of medical trickery. Like, I'll buy you some time, and I can throw you some stuff that'll fool them. And then Captain, pretty darn hot, which is definitely not at all, and that's definitely not Hoshi Station. She is, getting released space dock at the time, and this chick is from She-Hulk. This is Madison Book, the other attorney from She-Hulk. Remember, she was season 1. Remember her, the chick who died from cancer, Ensign Cutler. We had that. We were starting to feature some of the other crew members when we still had time to expand the cast, and these were like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the same actress. The face looks the same. I didn't have time to check the credits, but I believe that we got that actress back, and we see some people who didn't make it, like Seth MacFarlane, who just on the Enterprise and now is on this ship. Do you think that it's because Trip was sick and tired of his shit, making voices, not doing the not doing the EPS conduits the way I like them? I don't like Rivers.
Well, he's relegated to Family Guy duty.
Exactly.
I love this guest casting. The stunt casting.
He is in his second scene.
Yeah,
he was up for this role. This is his second Star Trek appearance. Honestly, this reassured me when I heard about the Orville. I'm like, well, he loves Star Trek. We know that.
Yep. If he had been in charge of Star Trek, we would have been in much better shape. Yeah.
We would have just gotten one episode a year about Topa with no B plot either time, where he just beats the Topa thing to absolute death. But we can see this is the Archer Cochrane engine has been upgraded, and this is our upgraded prop. We're going to see the same one on the Enterprise, but we've never seen it up this close. We've never seen this much control surfaces. We've never seen this much detail. It looks real good. I like the set dressing and the upgrade, and Rivers is going to have to learn to work with his old boss here. And this captain also doesn't like to sit in her chair. She's got a little bit of Archer.
It's too narrow. She can't sit sideways in it.
She can't cross her legs, take off her shoes. Yeah, you notice that she doesn't man spread and sit on it like a toilet like Nicotino does, and she doesn't curl up like a kitty cat. She gives specific orders, and she knows the hell she's doing, and she has a crew of her own and her own good ship, even though it's the same ship. It looks different enough when they try to, but I mean, I think we all know it's the same set.
Yeah. I mean, it should look, basically the same anyway, and that's a great way to save money in a show too. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it. They just have a little minor details, but it's the same design, right? Constellation, the Enterprise all look the same, except when you see the Constellation, it's obviously beaten to hell. But yeah, there's going to be minor differences, but nothing major. Yeah.
But what I like here is that it's got that new ship smell. It's you know what, we have a formidable ship. The design's been upgraded and changed a little bit, but the Enterprise matches this. They changed the lighting a little bit on the Enterprise, but here's the deal: why wouldn't the Enterprise get every mod and upgrade that Tucker and Archer have been screaming for 2-3 years out there in space? They just came back from the Zindi mission. He's, I assume, kept the technical notebook, and some of these mods would logically be installed on the Enterprise.
And the 5th season, we're supposed to get the refit version of the Enterprise, which would have been awesome. Yeah.
What's really weird now is when we see the exteriors, we have to ask ourselves for the first time ever, which ship is it? Is it the Columbia? Right. Is it the NX? Well, they're both NXs. Is it the Columbia? Is it the Enterprise? Are they going to go to warp here? Yeah. By the way, the worst ever engage is now show me some pretty colors.
Oh, God.
Would you even see them from your perspective? Like, I thought she was asking fucking Fishboy to sparkle vomit. That was my take when I saw that. Pretty colors. By the way, I'm going to say the As was great. But the funnier review and the more complete review is absolutely Disparu. Disparu hammered every plot point and had a fucking home run joke for it.
As was just projecting the same tiredness we all felt.
He had just woken up. 9 in the morning. I've had me tea. It's like he was ready to go, and he's just like, and like the camera goes off. It's like it's 5 hours later. It's like I've usually had my review done by now. Yeah, like he didn't even care about like the money that he would have made. He was just like, I have to finish doing these reviews. I don't care anymore. Mm-hmm. And it's just like I hate this show so much. It's getting a review whether it kills me or not. It's like that. That's why he stopped drinking soda and energy drink and booze so that he could survive stuff like this. That's why I stopped drinking mostly too. And it might send me back to drinking after all this. But the Klingon and Reed have an argument where the Klingon exposes his warrior fierceness and says, I disobeyed the captain. He's like, you're lucky to be alive. We kill people for that on our ships. You guys are losers. And the revelation that he's a Klingon, and Reed is a broken, beaten man in the brig looking for redemption. So we've got some sabotage going on. The ship's been messed up by the Klingon boarding party. They left their one Klingon behind. We've got a prisoner who's got some value, also who could make some give Fabio some competition on the romance novel cover.
It's Space Jesus.
Yeah. And Archer's just like, please tell me what you did or we'll all die too. And he's like, I don't really care.
I don't care if I die. Yeah, die like a warrior.
It's like, I did this. I did this with the intention of getting us all killed. You idiot.
Yeah.
Good night, Forbidden Planet.
Forbidden Planet, thank you for coming by. And hello to Jamie Lee Simmons. Gamora, can we reduce our speed? It's not Zoe Saldana. That ensign we have seen before. I'm pretty sure. I did not have time to run that one down on IMDb.
Only one of us had access to the internet.
You Klingons sabotaged us. And good night. Everyone say good night to Forbidden Planet. It's the way to go. All right. So Reed has the best idea of how to rebuild the computer. He knows the command protocols that have been fucked with best, and it would help if he did the right thing. And that's the end of our episode. We're going to find out what happens in part 2. Can the enterprising crew of the NX-01 and Trip on the NX-02 find a way to save the Klingons from themselves and prevent an interstellar war? Find out next time on Saving Star Trek. It's an awesome episode. I had a great time watching it, and I can't wait to see part 2. I think this is Star Trek as it was meant to be made. Well, not to be made as far as it should be episodic, but I think that they took a lot less liberties than our friends over at Deep Space Nine. But we are getting series through lines now. And I think only Germ, but I'll throw this one to Sean and to Mark now. We'll start with Sean. You know what? The way that Shran episode was tacked on, I don't think that was a 3-parter. I think that Shran episode was due to happen anyway, and they're like, this is the best time to do it. He's just here. What do you think? It was a 2-parter, that one.
They could have thrown that one in at any time. My thought is maybe that was supposed to be the season finale leading into series 5.
That was the upbeat season finale where they showed the cooperation, and he would have been back in the Starfleet uniform.
It had all the elements of a 2-part cliffhanger. So they could have done a cliffhanger at the end of season 4, and they're like, okay, well, let's stretch it into 3 and finish the season.
And we have Jeffrey under contract for one more episode anyway. Like the fans love him. Let's just do something with this. He's already here. This story was written, for a different alien, but we'll just give it to him.
Yeah, because we talked about how that episode felt like it should have been a 2-parter.
Jamie Lynn Simmons has been a member for 4 months. Thank you for supporting my channel. I'm glad to be here. Happy 60 years of Star Trek. We will be here with you to celebrate it every bit of the way. We only have a little bit of Enterprise left. We are going to jump to the original series for William Shatner's birthday, which is this week. So next week, I think, is going to be Games Just Triskele. We're going to go out of order. We're going to go out of order. We're going to go with the most manly Shatnerific episode we can come up with. If anyone thinks there's a more manly one than that, I don't know, Bread and Circuses, because it's like we got the Pro Council giving him one last night as a man. But Michelle, thank you so much. It's because of people like you that I keep the lights turned on, and the editing software was absolutely paid for by the community. So thank you so much, Jamie Lynn. It means a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jamie.
And Michelle says, I think it was father and daughter. It was a father and daughter. I watched a few minutes, but stopped when the girl said a doctor in the future didn't need to go to school to be a doctor. That's when I knew she was an idiot. I would have to agree.
Are we talking about Cass?
Cass would fit that description. I guess I can unpin the watch party, but everyone should join Germ's channel. Don't forget to do that. And as we get ready to grade the episode, it's very close. We got 40. Everybody seems that 82% of us think it's very good Star Trek. We have 41% at A, 41% at B, C, a mere 14%, and someone out there just hates Enterprise. DF, 3%. Mr. Sussman, are you out there experiencing some self-loathing? Did you vote against yourself, sir? If you're here tonight, welcome. We've been ourselves tonight. This is how we do it. You know what? This is a show we loved in high school.
Well, we haven't had to call
acting like we're in high school.
We haven't had to call human resources yet. We've been close. No. We've been close.
And we really
actually in the private chat, we've been definitely close.
And listen, Alex Kurtzman has been open about the fact that he has been antagonistic to us. And like, honestly, at this point, I'm not trying to be mean. I have genuine concern for the actress who plays Sirius Acclamation Mill. Not only is she always weird and inappropriate, but she started freaking out and had an emotional meltdown and started crying in front of Mark.
Oh, she did. Yeah, yeah. Well,
what?
Wish her the best. Yeah. Well, no, in front of the that was a Comic-Con last October. Yeah.
It was after Mark told her she was a shitty actress.
Throw rotten cabbage at her.
No, that was
the show yet.
When she got introduced. She's like, "This is my big break. I can't believe I finally made it." And I'm like,
did you realize?
Well, too bad the show. Too bad the show was not so good. Well, I'll be nice. Yeah, but yeah, it's just this is so refreshing to watch. I watched this episode yesterday. It was just so nice to watch real Star Trek again and just enjoy it. Yeah, and great characters, great set design, and Archer's just a great captain. And it's a shame this show got so much hate. And maybe there was a little bit of Star Trek fatigue. I mean, I never experienced it because I would watch Star Trek every night. But you could argue that a little bit, and the series didn't get a chance.
But on that the wind down of Voyager was just like they threw a few too much shit up against the wall. Thinking,
it was mistimed. It was I'm sure we're going to have a big retrospective show, everyone. But Enterprise was just timed wrong.
And also, like, there definitely seemed to be some mandates. If I could ask, the first question that I would ask Mike Sussman, if I could, would be like, all the eating, network mandated? What was the deal with eating in we have not seen an episode where people didn't eat. I don't know if we put food in our mouth in this episode, but we usually do.
No, yes, they did, because they mentioned because Tuck, he mentions how good the compliments to the chef on the Columbia.
Oh yeah,
when he has dinner with the captain, 1800 maybe in the mess hall.
I just don't know if we see him put the food right into his mouth, because we see them put the food in their mouth a lot. They go all the way with eating in Enterprise. Like, they're not fake eating and they might be fake chewing to deliver their lines, but when they put food, but we see them absolutely put food in their mouth. We absolutely see some volume drain from the glass when they drink. They absolutely seem to be swallowing something. And like, I don't know if they were just like, we don't want people talking about how you run the face coupling through the holodeck and rechannel the energy through the Bassard collectors ever again. We want a normal show that people can relate to. And so don't Star Trek it up too much, but keep it like Star Trek so the Star Trek fans like it. And they were just like, oh, what the fuck? It's like, well, we can have people eat. That's grounded. And we'll have the captain watch baseball. UPN's getting a baseball contract. It's like, actually, that fell through. Oh, fuck. All right, water polo.
Yeah, well, we needed more, dream sequences with T'Pol and Hoshi. Could you imagine? That's gonna be my nightmare if I go to sleep tonight and both Hoshi and T'Pol are in my dreams.
That would be some really good eating.
Yeah, when I don't know if Human Resources was called when you were discussing that dream, but maybe we might have to do it after that comment. But yeah, that was that. Can you imagine the terror of that? Yeah.
Incoming transmission from Starfleet Command, Human Resources Division.
There it is.
There it is. We got the warning. Yep, and I didn't say
Human resource warning at my real job. Human resource warning at my channel.
I'm married to someone who's head of human resources at a company, so I got to be careful what I say.
Oh,
yes,
you must hear some stories. Huh?
Oh, I hear some stories. Yeah, I hear some stories.
Wow.
Who would does your human resources worker wife consider herself to work for the boss or for the employees?
Oh, she's for the employees, but then sometimes the employees just. What do you mean driving an 18-wheeler and smoking marijuana at the same time is not allowed? Why did I get fired for that? I don't know.
If I can,
honestly, Tom, it made him a better 18-wheeler driver. I'm all for it, but I mean, I don't make the rules, right? I mean, it's not up to her. Well, the answer to that one is, I don't make the rules. If I had my way, we would have a bong built into every 18-wheeler's gear shifter. I mean, tell them whatever you want to hear.
I have a story. So my wife told me something, like one of the people that she works with made reference to, well, you know how those people are. and she was referring to a certain group, and she qualified it with throwing her hands up in the air and say, "God forgive me, but you know how those people are."
Well, everyone knows if you say "I'm just kidding" or "God forgive me" first, it can't be racist or mean.
Yeah, or if it's in Minecraft.
Yeah.
But
I
could tell you guys later after the show, but it was blatantly bad, and I'm like,
was she putting down people that like New Trek? Those people that like New Trek? No.
I've heard
it had to do with the amount of melatonin in there.
Well, I'm sure it was something. I was just joking.
That's where it was going. That it was that it was a vanilla based bias. But you know what?
It was more of a caramel based bias.
Ooh, well, you know what? I've had to deal with that because I'm undetectable. And I've heard people talking about those Hispanics, man. Those fucking Hispanics.
No. It was a caramel.
Your wife worked.
Well, just don't even choose. Don't even choose the words. It'll just.
It was.
Tell us the story later.
Okay,
tell us the story later.
It was not white based. Schism. The person who said it spoke Spanish.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. All right. Well, it was reverse vanilla. Okay.
No, it's not reverse. No, there's no reverse anything.
Okay.
It's just straight out bad. It was awful. It was really bad. We got like,
it was hateful.
Oh my God.
Okay, I can't wait to hear it. I'm going to add it to my.
I asked my wife, I'm like,
diary of insults.
I asked my wife, I'm like, does this person know my origins? She's like, yeah. Okay.
Whoa. All right. Well, hey, you know what?
It exists, folks. It's real.
It's real. Yeah. You know what? We just saw like 9 weeks of it on New Trek.
Yeah. Let's just say
everybody.
This: any schism, whatever the origin, is bad. It's bad. Don't do
Race hate is wrong. How's that?
Yes.
One? And you know what? That's why
I want to call human being. My God.
I want to call out the New York Jets for not doing their part. They have unity written on the sideline. Now, the Detroit Tigers and the Dallas Cowboys have end racism written on the sideline and in the end zone. So every time those teams score or get scored on, there's less racism in the world. But the Jets don't care. They just want unity. What does that mean? You know, I'll take end racism. That should be on the sideline.
Star Trek unification is what it means.
We need Star Trek United.
Star Trek United. Sorry. That's what we need. Yeah, but don't be a jerk, folks. Just be a good human. Please.
Yeah, you know. And also, like, here's one that helps. I employ what I call the Shaquille O'Neal rule. You know, if I get angry when I'm driving, and I don't drive anymore, but if I get angry driving, or I get angry on the subway, or someone's a dick to me, I try to think to myself, let me talk to them the way I would talk to Shaquille O'Neal. Or someone who is as big as and looked a lot like Shaquille O'Neal. Rather than taking advantage of the fact that I might be bigger than this person. Because you know what? That can only build me some more good karma. But you know what? Let's take a look at what our audience says. Vote now while we consider our grades, and then we'll finalize this one. We still have, with 29 votes, 41% split each between A and B. So we'll find out whether it's an A or a B. Looks like we're heading for B+ territory. And hey, something on the long range sensors too. I think I just picked it up coming into range. There it is.
Admiral Teague, incoming super chat.
Did I miss one? Oh.
Yeah. Radioactive Actual in the last I'm right on it. Well, you know how those people from Charon are. That's
yeah.
Yeah,
that's right. You know what? Like it's not that we're from a completely different planet or species from the tachyon pulse. It's just that he's Trek on the left side. We're Trek on the right side.
I was trying to think of a left side joke.
I think I got it exactly right. And I have the better Adidas track jacket and the larger collection of Adidas track jackets. Okay, Tachyon. We'll have Tachyon back and we'll ask him about that too. the Medusan episode or the Traveling Shakespeare Company? Oh, you're talking about like tops for TOS. Traveling Shakespeare Company was a great one. I loved the Anton Caridian storyline, and I love when they bring him back as head Organian. And he's like, "I've already tried to kill you several times, Captain, and my daughter is in penal colony because of you, and it sickens me to take this form which I found in your mind." And then the other Organian is the guy from of Bread and Circus. He's like, the sun is here for all of us. It's like, yeah, well, I'll take a Saturn 3000. I'll take the Jupiter 3000 for a cruise before I believe your crazy stories. But thank you very much, Radioactive. Yeah, the people from Sharon, the black and white cookies of the world. The people from Sharon have been terribly twisted by Kurtzman. Sean noticed it. He saw it, so he has to explain it. Sean, how have the Sharonites have been changed since the days of Loci and Inspector Beale?
Not only are they half one color and half the opposite color, they are half one gender and half the other, even including half of their head is short hair, half of their head has long hair. And they sounded like I did a couple of weeks ago.
When you were when you sounded trans from the voice mod.
Yeah. Which I still can't replicate.
You can't replicate it. You don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know what
Klingon subroutine.
So that bug I left behind in Xanadu is still active, Sean. I know what I know you found the voice was. Don't ever do that again, Sean. Don't fuck with me. I'm only kidding. We love you, Doomcock. And Sean Cock may return. We don't know. I asked for the transporter from the Enterprise, but it seems like we got the one from the Voyager, doesn't it? First week we're using it, we got Sean Cock. We had to beam Sean Cock away to get Doomcock and Sean back. And also we were able to get 3. We beamed away 1 and got back 3.
Admiral Teague, incoming super chat.
Good shot, Mr. Carter. Don't mock my Sharona. my Sharona. Yeah, I don't know enough of the words of my Sharona to do a good song parody of that. I don't have the knack for it.
Well, Weird Al did one.
That was a good pun there. I got it. Yep.
I at least delivered on the pun. I don't know enough of the lyrics. We're keeping everybody
Weird Al's
laughing.
song, My Bologna.
I like the one from Cheech and Chong. My scrotum. That was my favorite version of that song.
Cheech Marin's an asshole, by the way.
You know what though? He's so much smarter than Oliver Stone. It's not even funny. I saw them.
Yeah, but he's a dick.
He just destroyed him. Is he a dick?
He's
not nice in person.
No, he's a punk.
Wow, that is too bad because he's the kind
you think
of guy
the pot would mellow him out?
Yeah. Well, I don't think he smokes no more. Maybe that's why he's a dick.
Yeah, I met him. I met him at an after party. He did a movie. I think Denzel was in it. It was called The Great White Hype with Woody Harrelson. It was a boxing movie, and Cheech Marin was in it. My dad worked on it. So my dad's they had a rap party. They had a rap party, and my dad, come with me. My mom was sick of going to those. Oh, okay, cool. I'll go with you. And Cheech, everybody's there, and my dad's saying hi to everyone. He goes up to Cheech, goes, hey, Cheech is my son Sean. Hey, how you doing? And I just put my hand out to shake his hand respectfully, and he goes, hey, how are you? And he didn't even look at me. He just stuck his hand out like a dead fish, like kiss it. I'm like, dude, I'm like, I wasn't starstruck. I was just saying hello.
Right.
I didn't give a hell.
Were you a young kid then, or you?
I was early 20s, maybe.
Okay, yeah. So you're younger, yeah, but not like a 12-year-old kid though. Yeah. Okay.
It was just in time to keep you from smoking too much weed. You're like, so that's what happens to people who do it. Turn into a dick.
Yeah, I think you got him at the wrong time. He was probably cycling down from the last hit.
Maybe.
I that or took LSD for the rap party. It's like fucking.
Yeah, but wouldn't you do that to be in a good mood, to be cheerful to people, and like, hey, we're at a party. I know everyone here. It's safe. You know, I don't have fans groveling over me. I wasn't doing any of that. I was just, hi.
I wonder if it's like I hate work parties. I can't do coke. Something like that.
Maybe.
Go there for
Call
90
human
minutes.
resources.
Yeah, it's like
maybe he didn't want to be there.
15 minutes to do a few rails. I mean, who knows?
Maybe
But
he
that's
didn't want to
too
be there, but
bad.
still, dude, it's like I was just saying hello.
Yeah, I've never had a celebrity even passing them on the street where they were rude enough not to at least nod back. You know what I mean? Like acknowledge you. Except for Yoko Ono, who I just stared at in shock as she walked by me.
She didn't scream at you?
No, or
You gonna get the Yoko scream?
No, I did not get the Yoko scream. We leave that to John Lennon to have to deal with.
What did she say when you said, "Oh my God, you really are fucking ugly"?
She just walked right by me. I didn't have time to say that. Oh, well, I guess I would have said, the bass matches the voice.
That
Try
was
to say it in a
mean.
nice way. You destroyed the Beatles. To which I say, I have a funny feeling if we ever got that 80s Beatles reunion, we would be talking about like the Beatles with much less reference. I mean, I would have to figure that those George, the songs that George wrote would be like of the best they had, like George was writing some good songs in the 80s. The other guys were like shooting blanks, and someone shot a non-blank at John, so he wasn't around there to fix any of their mistakes. It would have sounded like Asia or something. I'm sure of it.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think the Beatles can do any wrong, but I'm biased. But yeah, I don't think Yoko was the main cause for breaking up the band. I think that was kind of overhyped, especially when you watch the Get Back films and you see Yoko sitting there and Paul's girlfriend's Linda is interfering, quote unquote interfering way more than Yoko was. Yoko's just sitting in the corner there. I think it was just guys that had been together a long time and the band was kind of splitting up. And imagine being the four most famous / popular people in the world for those, 7 years. You're in that intense bubble.
Yeah. Imagine all the people. Mark. Well, I guess for everyone here, what did you guys think of that quote unquote new song they put out?
I really like it. I think it's great. Real Love. The very last. They redid Real Love. And then because they didn't have the computer technology, the AI, to separate John's voice out. So everyone's saying, well, it's an AI song, but yes and no. I mean, these are recorded on cassette tapes, probably like a boombox, or it wasn't recorded with a studio quality. So originally they couldn't separate John's voice out, and now they've remixed them with that new technology from the great Peter Jackson was using in the Get Back movie, so they can. You go back to like everything's a separate track. So initially they would, record things. They only had 4 tracks in the beginning, so they would record them, put them all on one track, and then record the 4 different pieces, put them on one track, 4 different pieces, one track.
Yeah,
so
ping them about twice and get up to 16.
Yeah. So I really like. I mean, are they the world's greatest songs? No, but I think they're pretty damn poignant and pretty. I mean, I wish I could write some throwaway songs like that. People that are criticizing them, like they're and if you're a Beatles fan, they're pretty nice. So I think it was a nice coda for the Beatles. Yeah, imagine losing a guy like your friend that you grew up with and taken away by a murderer, and you don't really get to say goodbye to him, but you can at least work on this one last project, almost like the Star Trek unification thing, even though I wish maybe there's a little bit of dialogue there. But, let's use AI and put the band back together. But let's do something respectful that's not, pissing on our history or our legacy. So you can use that AI tastefully.
They did, but not using the voice.
Everyone hated him, right? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying they did. I think they did well. They were wise in not using any voices, AI in that, just using the visuals.
In unification, yeah,
unification.
Yeah.
But, I'm trying to remember the name of that Beatles song they did. It was
Now and Then.
Demo. Now and Then, I really
it's beautiful. Yeah, no, it's great. It's a great song. Yeah, and then some people have been remixing it on YouTube, like doing like a Beatles '64 version of it, and the lyrics are really touching. Like if Yeah, they like let's do it, with AI or these people. What's a mixing of the Beatles did it in '64, and then there was a woman who did like her acoustic guitar version of it. It's got some haunting lyrics in that. So it's is it a really? I guess it is a Beatles. It's a Beatles song. They all worked on it, right? Not together, but
they all put something into it, and I really like how they put just a couple of seconds of classic Beatles sound to it. Like there was a couple points where they harmonized like they used to. And I was like,
and John had to, Paul added some, had to add to the song a little bit.
Yeah,
too,
and that was fine. Yeah, but it was really, it was good. I liked it. Anyway, long segue.
Right, thumbs up on the Beatles. I prefer the Rolling Stones, but then again, I haven't had a chance to see the Beatles. Right, I've seen the Stones a few times. But let's get our grades going, and let's start with Resolute Germ. We just got done watching Affliction. It's the first part of the Klingon cranial story arc. And what did you think, my friend?
Well, I ended up giving this one an A. Good all around. A little bit clunky on some of the dialogue parts, but that's forgivable. They are getting near the end. Not everyone gives a crap anymore, but they're going out strong.
These are really strong stories. Okay, so you give it an A. Can't do much better than that. Let's go with Sean next. What do you think, sir?
I'm going to give this 2 grades. I'm going to give 1 A for the same reasons that Germ stated. They knew they were done. They still tried to deliver good Star Trek and a good story, and they put it together well. If I was looking at this from a standpoint like we had 2 more seasons, it would probably be a B. Just because some of the stuff doesn't make sense. I don't care for some of the writing they did for Rodriguez. She is a little too campy. Even in this first episode, in the second episode, we see a lot more campiness. But
we've had a lot of
3,
inconsistency with our Starfleet captains, right? Like,
yeah,
for instance, when Kill Bill's brother climbed up Mount McKinley, and then later on we found out that he fell off Denali.
Yeah,
we never get any explanation for that.
Yeah. So an A for effort, a definite A, given that they could have just thrown it all away here, but they still believed in what they were doing, and they're like, "We're going to make the best
please no."
Yeah, and I do think that there were elements of this story that were probably geared for season 5 and beyond. That they had.
There might have been some story compression. You're right. Because this Klingon augment thing could have gone on for a little while.
Yeah, it really could have, and I'm sure that they had plans. It would be interesting to pick Michael Sussman's brain about that. Like, what did you have in mind for this? But they did the best they could, given the short. Because they were told they didn't have much of a window between when they were told they were canceled and they were still writing, right?
No, that whole season. They were told about 2 shows into season. The season was written, but they were sitting down to have the meeting to make the season 5 episodes, is what I understand. When they were told. So they had time to correct. There was still
barely enough time to correct.
Up to 26 weeks to fix some episodes.
Yeah, so I
to leave us an ending.
I give them an absolute A in dealing with what they had. But that's all said knowing, with background knowledge. Because at the time we saw this episode, we had no idea.
It was an A at the time.
By the time we saw this episode, they had already announced that there would be no.
Oh, had they?
5. They announced,
I believe so,
pretty early in the season.
Oh, okay. But when it was written, like when they started writing it, they didn't. They had to go back and rewrite this stuff. But
it's got fucking thrown off the air for unhappily ever after with the chick from Pen Pals.
So I can watch this episode and this story with a lot of forgiveness and grade accordingly. But even so, had we not known, it's still a good B. It's still a good watch.
I'm grateful for this story. I like the way it filled in the canon with the Klingons. I think they did a great job on their way out.
Oh yeah,
They're
that
like,
was really
what
creative.
if fans wonder about? Like, let's do something cool for the fans. It feels like that there were two really positive things going on. One is Star Trek's over, and it's like, well, we're not going to hold the network hostage and work our contract and sue people. They're like, Star Trek's over. But we're young guys. Like Sussman was like 26 or something like that. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to have a career in this business. I intend to go forward. I'm going to write the best season I can. And Manny Koto's like, I don't intend to be done now. I'm going to write we're going to write a great story. And Koto and Sussman with this Klingon story, I appreciate it. It's unqualified A. Couple of dialogue flubs. They didn't have polish
I think
time
I'm
like
with
they
you.
used to.
I think I'm with you there. And for a lot of people, like give them grief about like the way they're explaining some of the canon and stuff. They did as best as could be done. Like they told the best story they could. They explained things in the best way possible to show, okay, why did the Klingons look different? Why, like, how else are you going to explain it? Like at least they addressed it and tried. And we may think it's a little campy, but my God, that's a monumental task.
Well, Klingon and Romulan uploads regarding season 4 probably should be made by me, so I'll consider doing that. In the meantime, I've left the negative image up because we're gonna mess with everybody a little bit. Next week, I really think it's incumbent on us to go TOS for William Shatner's birthday, and I don't know. I'll go with my panel on this one. You guys are part of this. What do you think?
Oh yeah,
What do you think, Joe?
We definitely have to do something for Shatner's birthday.
Or we could have an extra show.
So say we all.
It's up to you guys. We could do a shorter Thursday show, since there's no new Trek show, but people said they need Thursdays off. I don't know. That's up to you guys. But let's see what day of the week William Shatner's birthday falls.
We can just do it Saturday.
We could just do it Saturday. I say the most Shatner of episodes is Gamesters of Triskelion. March 22nd. It's in 7 days. Wow. It'll be turning midnight. Oh, okay. It'll be the night before his birthday when we end. All right.
Wait,
so
that's
close
enough.
We are. His birthday's the 22nd. Our next show is the 20th to the 21st.
Mark's?
No, Williams.
No,
Shatner's.
Shatner's.
Oh. Yep.
So we
Shat.
When I said March, it sounded like Mark because
March. Yeah. New York.
He's born in March 17th. He's also
maybe we should just mention a quick review on every episode where Kirk gets some.
We'll do a retrospective of different chicks we dig from Captain Kirk, and we'll probably do Gamesters, but we have the original series coming next week, and then we'll finish off the Klingon thing, and then
he nailed Lenore Caridian.
Did he nail her too? Well, I mean,
yeah.
Kirk did. I thought you meant Shatner.
No, I mean Kirk. Yeah, not Shatner. But
I
Lenore
love that,
Caridian was supposed to be 19.
She's legal.
As far as Shatner, we don't have any confirmation, and probably best that we don't. A lot of that man.
Yeah, it's true.
Joan Collins said she turned him down. Or Joan Collins
really?
Said she was surprised at how short he was, and she didn't appreciate being hit on. So I was like, "Bitch, you had a chance to sleep with the greatest man to ever live,
come on,
finest actor of all time, and you're going to say you couldn't get him up your skirt? Fuck you! You lie about stuff like that. You know what? If I work with William Shatner, I'd be like, yeah, and he's so charming that I slept with him too.
Remember that song? Yeah. Don't want a short man.
Don't want no short dick man.
How dare you?
Oh, Harrison, cute, an extra belly button.
All right, guys. Everyone gave this one an A. Let's keep this one.
I didn't get to go.
Oh yeah, Mark didn't go. That's right. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't go. No, it's okay. I won't be too long. Yeah, no, I agree with everything. I give this an A. Yeah, just spoiler alert too. I love the explanation for what's happening. The one thing I don't like is I can't stand Section 31 in Star Trek, and maybe that's because of what it's turned into in later episodes. I mean, I don't mind the idea of like a spy, secret spy group in the Federation, but then they wrote into the Federation charter and like we can bend the rules. If you're a good writer, you figure out how to do things without bending the rules, and I just don't like that in the Star Trek universe. So
we used to have in our charter that you weren't allowed to drink, and it was such a bad idea. We wrote it out inside of 10 years. So yeah, we could change things. I don't get it.
Yeah, like Captain Pressman would have been Section 31. That's how you write that kind of a story. Like it's one admiral and a group of small people in Starfleet that are going to go for a cloaking device, but it's not an organization. It's just a few people here and there that they get out of line.
The new you would have made Captain Maxwell Section 31.
Yeah, but
Maxwell
you should have
right.
Maxwell's right. I can see where you have.
He was understandable in his anger too. But yes, he was right. But the thing is, he was played so sympathetically because he was like the title of that episode tells you it all. Like the wounded. He was super wounded from what happened to his family, and he just fucking hated the Cardassians. And like he thought he was all right with it, but he wasn't. He wasn't. And like they would have made it like so much more calculating and deliberate. The off the rails, I couldn't help myself. Maxwell is a much better character than like a Section 31 Maxwell. Now that like the Federation has so many overlapping fucking spy and security services, what do they even need Section 31 for in New Trek?
I see the wounded. Well, I put this on X the other day. The Wounded is I think is the best TNG episode. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite, but I think it's the best one.
Wow. I thought The Child was their best episode. No, you know what? I'd have to think about that one for a long time. Best TNG episode. There's so many great ones. But
there's so many great ones, but just from a storytelling human perspective, not science fiction. It's not the best science fiction episode, but I think it's the best well-written, identifiable human episode. It's not my favorite though.
All right. So what's that? Thank you,
Joel on
Mark.
Yeah, the only other thing too. Yeah, Phlox is good in this. I like that subplot, and then you've got Hoshi, the mind meld with T'Pol. That was all pretty cool. Yeah, I guess that's her first mind meld, right? And Archer's guiding her because
she got mind graped.
Her first voluntary.
That she initiated.
Not Tamir, whatever the other T'Pau mind melded with her to help her get over the Benai syndrome.
Yeah. I mean, like this is the first time she's like initiated one. I guess on her own. I guess I'm trying to remember, but
not like Saval where she has the ability. She had to learn it, but she's been studying a lot.
And it was interesting, that Archer got to guide her, which I thought was a nice throwback too, because he had the who was it, Surak's Katra, right?
Yeah, we were divided about that one. I was like, I think he's in a good position to be like a mind meld midwife because he doesn't take part in the experience. The only weird thing about that one is Linda Park getting sucked into the Skype call.
Yeah, well, that's just because of their bond, and I guess it was the psychic. I'm glad that she got sucked into the dream and not someone else, right? I'd be worried if who I get sucked into my dreams at night, right? Yeah, right. I'll keep Hoshi and Linda Park, and Hoshi and T'Pol in my dreams. But yeah, I did like that.
And she was like, "You're dreaming about fucking Hoshi. You're dreaming about Hoshi. You motherfucker's like, I told you I didn't want anything serious, and now you're calling me work."
Mark, I'm going to make Admiral Teague laugh here.
Okay.
T'Pol initiated the mind meld because she wanted to.
What's hotter than that? All right. So, Mark,
I'll tell you after the show.
Yeah, so this is solid A despite the Section 31 stuff that I don't. It's not so bad in these few episodes, but it just it deteriorates down the road. And of course, then we got the Section 31 movie. So yeah,
Oh,
that's what we get to look forward to.
That's going to be redefined as like a streaming TV movie. It's not a movie. There's no
Oh. Well, I'm just picking on it. Yeah, but
that one didn't even make me mad though.
It was so bad it didn't matter.
Oh, we were pretty angry afterwards from the ludicrousness built up, but like it wasn't a lasting anger.
It wasn't because it was its own isolated thing, and it wasn't a sole season of being pissed on.
Yeah.
It was just.
And by the end of the
Look how
review,
dumb
we were
they
having
are.
trouble remembering what happened at the beginning of the show because it was so stupid and unmemorable. It's like, is that when she burns the guy's face off with a sword? It's like, I think so, yeah. With the cheesecloth windmill, yeah, that great scene.
And
But,
that Comic-Con panel was amazing too. God, to listen to that. They're all talking about the episode. And actually, the guy that plays the kind of cyborg dude knew his Star Trek. He was naming TNG episodes, and he was he knew. And like a fan asked him about why should we have Section 31 in Star Trek, and he gave actually a decent answer for someone who's on the on the cast, and he was quoting episodes. I'm like, wow, this guy knows his Trek.
A writer's job, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, wow, he actually watched Star Trek, unlike some of these people, it seems. Yeah, like some of the writers. Yeah, so I kind of felt bad for him as I was watching what he was thrown into. And of course, yeah, you're in the cast, you're on the team, you're gonna promote it, right?
You're the body horror eye self delete guy. Oh,
yeah, but he was like
eye.
Yeah. Ouch.
And hail to lemon pie. I just put his
hey,
chat. Good to see you,
Lemon.
Lemon. Lemon's always a benefit to a chat.
Try the lasagna. I will. Yeah, we love lemon pie. Trouble with Tribbles. That's a heavy favorite.
I can get my daughter was hooked on that episode. I got her hooked on it.
Oh, great! Yeah,
but she didn't want to watch anything else. I'm like, hey, let me show you another one. Like, no, I want to watch the
that one's
furry
good.
thingies. Yeah.
But
at least she appreciates it. So,
Well, I did.
Mark, does A finish your thoughts on the episode? We're this is freeform now, right?
I'm good on the episode, but I did get to meet the writer of the Trouble with Tribbles and bought his book. So he's at David Gerald's at a lot of conventions and cons. So got an autograph book.
Still
I
around?
haven't read the book. Yeah, he's still around. Yeah, because he was a really young guy. He was in college when he wrote the episode, I think, or very young.
A lot of the drain in my shower today.
Maybe we can get him back into Trek.
He'll only
It'll be good.
Yeah, he's really young then. He's at least 80 now, though.
So
he looked pretty good when I saw him in last year.
I thought you meant on the show. I was like, I don't think he'll be able to use the tech guys.
Yeah. How old is David Gerald now? Yeah.
He can't use the tech, but we found out he lives near West Kegel. West Kegel's headed over there to help him out.
Yeah. How old is David? He's 82. Oh, he looked good for 82. He was very spry.
He was 22 when he wrote the episode.
He could still write.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let him write an episode, see what happens. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens, but it does look like Kurtzman has managed to punt the very end of Strange New Worlds to after the beginning of 2027. So it's going to be a year of hell. We thought we were
that
3
long
months
away. Wow,
no, I thought it was in the summer.
Paramount. The first season 4, season 5 is in January of 2028.
I think they're going to fast track it.
I think we're going to get all of it at once because it's finished. I think it'll just be a 16 episode thing and that'll be the end of it. Unless there's how many stipulations can this guy have on his contract? I mean, I want to believe that he's got them locked in and that there's better hope. Gene Roddenberry's son said that there's hope under new leadership. It seems everybody's agitating to get rid of him. Sussman has the inside track to be the new guy. And we look forward to finishing off Star Trek United and going ahead into TOS in this 60th anniversary year. So, I guess with that, let's talk about what everyone's doing on their channel this week and see if we can't get this one in under. Wow, we could do this in under 4 hours. That's like half the length of the last show. Let's start with Jerm. Jerm, what do you got going on?
We'll be watching an episode of Marshals tomorrow before the Paramount Weekly, and on Monday we'll be watching Godzilla versus King Ghidorah.
I'm working on Monday, but maybe I'll be home in time for that. I love that movie. All right. Germ's channel is on the recommended tab at the bottom of this page of my homepage, so you should all sub to him. And that means next on the totem pole is Mark. Mark, what's going on your channel? I was watching
the big show.
Night. It was very violent, sir. And I saw
very
Superman.
violent.
I saw the death of Superman.
Yeah, Fortnite. Yeah, it's horrible to say. I always wear Superman's cape in all my characters in Fortnite. So yeah, I think it was whoever I was playing with. I had Superman. I always have Superman's cape going. So yeah, a lot of death and destruction. Yeah,
a couple of Supermen I've seen in movies.
Yeah, and we did win a few times, so that was fun. I had 6 kills once. So yeah, I'm not very good. We just
you led with kills.
Yeah, that's usually Mandalorian or Lady V have the most kills, but yeah, it's fun to just to hang out and have a good time. Yep.
Whenever
but the
I
big
see
show
Lady V in someone's chat, I start flirting with her because she's so much fun to talk to.
Yeah,
she's the coolest. She's nice.
Very cool. Yeah,
keep pitching.
So so of course the big show tomorrow night, Sunday Night Geekery, probably 10:30 p.m. Eastern, and we'll be covering. I started watching Monarch, the new Apple second season of the Apple show. If you've got Apple TV, and I've started watching One Piece. So I watched the first episode of the second season. Pretty good so far. So and I finally finished watching Jellystone, or Yellowstone as I call it, with my wife this weekend. Finally got to the end of the second season. I thought it was pretty damn good, so maybe I'll talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I thought they ended it out pretty well too. Germ
That's a good end.
Did a marathon watching the last 5 episodes, the last half season, and it was fun.
Yeah, I thought it was well done.
And it made enough sense. Although the Jamie we're seeing now on Marshall's, he was a lot more hardcore and mean-spirited and evil in that last episode of Yellowstone than the guy we saw in Marshall's. But we'll find out more with Paramount this week tomorrow. Sean, what have you got going on?
Well, I discovered last night that Lucasfilm, the cool video game arm of the original Lucasfilm, had put out a remastered version. Huh?
Were they called LucasArts?
Yeah, LucasArts. So they had a really cool game back in the 90s called Outlaws. And I discovered they re-released the game remastered.
Star Wars has to make money somehow.
And
unfortunately, it's probably had a sensitivity read now, but okay, great.
And it's a first-person shooter like Doom, but it's all Western-based, very cartoony and pretty cool. It's very spaghetti Western. I may do this on Retro Reels and Games because it is definitely retro. But they remastered the game, and nice. I can hear the soundtrack in my headphones right now, and it's really cool. It's very dated. No, it's just it's the whistling and the good, the bad, and the ugly
Western music. Okay.
Yeah.
And
it's go ahead, Mark.
Is it? Oh, I was just saying, so it's remastered with they upped the graphics, or did they add anything to it? Or it's basically the game, but with graphics you can play today, I guess. Yeah.
I'll
There's no new missions. There's no new missions or anything. But
no. They did add some missions.
Oh, they did. That's even more awesome.
Yeah, and this is just the intro. It's all cartoony. It's very tropey.
Yeah,
but it's a lot of fun.
I never played that.
There's voices. One. Yeah. Oh, it's good. It's $30 on Steam. So I may go through and play this and show it on Retro Reels.
Have you ever played Full Throttle before? That was my other favorite, Lucas. Ooh, Full Throttle is a great adventure game. Yep, that's another one.
I want to do Grim Fandango too. That's
a classic.
LucasArts was so
great
good
games.
back then.
Great games.
It wasn't work bullshit with a sensitivity reader. Look, we have 2 white people who are married. It's a man and a woman. That would never happen again.
Yeah, she sends him on errands and she goes, "Oh, this is so sweet of you." And he goes, "No, this is marriage." But I mean, look at this. They got the whole camera angles and everything. Like this guy.
He just understood what he was doing. He threw himself into everything, right?
But LucasArts was one of the best game designers back then. Of course, we got X-Wing and TIE Fighter. Some of the best games of all times.
Yeah,
and my favorite, Secret Weapons of Luftwaffe.
I was playing it a little bit last night, so you can see here it's very dated.
Yeah.
But you can do that. You can do cool stuff like that. But
Mark,
anyway.
I'm disappointed to hear you say that because wonder weapons, no wars without soldiers, no killing, nothing is confirmed, no soldiers, no admirals. I'm glad I won't live to see it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, he got reincarnated though, so yeah.
Yeah, but
I
will say this, guys.
Biopic about my last life. Go ahead, Sean.
I will say this. I have this weekend off of my weekend job, so I spent the day doing yard work, and all that's why I was kind of tired tonight.
You're supposed to be working on models.
Yeah,
what's this yard work stuff?
Well, no, I want a nice lawn. I'm working on my lawn, but tomorrow I'll probably be getting and doing the working on the Voyager, and I'm going to really try to post a video tomorrow on the Sci-Fi Model Guy. Finally,
all right.
Finally, we'll get. I've got like 5 hours recorded. I just got to get it up.
Put a little Viagra on that source tape and you'll get it right up.
Yeah.
I want to thank everyone was here. We had Julio Scissors, Resolute Germ, Jamie Lynn Simmons, Jonathan Hancock, T Stark CEO, Mark D with a C, of course, John the Beagle Dad, Forbidden Planet 777, Lombardi 1969. Yeah, I said hello to him. It was right before he got here. Mr.
Okay.
Angel 18. Mr. Angel, Crimlon. Lemon Citrus Pie, the Trek reviewer, Buddy Hepburn, Michelle Fairy Tales, Sean Carter, Kal-El, Gavin Blackburn, Tetrarch of Apathy, Wallace Lang, the Real Head Case, Radioactive, RRTNZ, and the Dead Man. Wow, what a collection of amazing subscribers and amazing channel members, all of you. We thank you very much. And what Mark's got something there for you to show you. What's in big Mark? What have we here?
We've got to add a voice. I think I've shown this before, but this is mini Lego patent. I should film this, and you could add your voice to it. It's like an AI thing.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Patton's voice, yeah, like animate it. Yep. But pretty cool patent here. Maybe I'll sit on top of my mic here. I don't know.
Is there a set that comes with him, or is it just
no? It was just from the Patton Museum. So General Patton in decoration uniform. Yep, from. A custom minifig, yep. So these were at the Patton Museum, and a good friend went there. And
we got to build a World War II Legos like background diorama.
Yeah,
the lions in their dens tremble at his approach. All right, everybody.
Combination of the Bible and Hollywood. There we go.
What do you think of our country, General? Love it, Excellency. It's a combination of the Bible and Hollywood. You know what? Like I in my mind, my headcanon is that little kid we see stealing the watch off the dead American GI. That's a young Muammar Gaddafi. That's experienced by a young Gaddafi. It's an influence in his early life. Guys, we had an excellent episode of Star Trek tonight. We're going to have an excellent episode of Star Trek for William Shatner next week. Gives us a little time to communicate with Mr. Sussman. I didn't DM him because I figured, you don't want to be that clingy first date kind of contact. Enough time's gone by. Thank him now. And we didn't go too far capitalizing on that because why mess up a good thing? We have the best Star Trek show ever. And tomorrow you have a chance to watch. Jerm can confirm this. We have the most watched Paramount This Week show ever in the history of shows named Paramount This Week on this channel of all time ever. This was watched by more people than Gone with the Wind and the Moon Landing combined. Jerm, am I right?
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
You know what, computer? Check Jerm into space.
59.
The Jerm's been fucking with the computer again. All right, it's time to end the show. We love you all. Sir, do you have any words of inspiration for us?
Spock.
That's kind of a bummer. How about something more upbeat?
You've gone too far in a few places.
Yeah,
you sure motherfucker, did. You.
Okay,
All right,
hold on. I have to do it. I have to do it. Where is it? Shit.
Is it what I think it is?
Yeah, I think so.
Insufficient response. Selecting appropriate program based on personal history. Program identified. Loading Pride Weather Simulation West Kegel 2. Program complete. Enter when ready. Pun intended.
Good up. Astroglide. Blue Oyster music, perfect. If that wasn't the real Blue Oyster music, it was so close. It was perfect. It was perfect. All right, guys. We love you
last announcement. Sorry to interrupt, Admiral, but land the shuttlecraft Galileo. I think it's the last night, so I put the link in the privates if you want to share it to the public. But I think there's only a few more hours left if you want to back it. And I think they made their how much are they up to now? They're up to $278,000. So they're doing pretty good. So
they got
I think a real replicator on it, so we can.
But if you want to get some of that swag, then you can. I donated so I could get the hat, but and I love the Galileo. So
is that the same one that they discovered like in a junkyard or something?
Yeah. Yep. So then
and it still needs to be restored again.
Well, they're bringing it to Ticonderoga, and they're making a set for it. So their stretch goals were like a video wall that they reached. And then
okay.
Yeah, so it's really cool if you want to throw the link into the main chat. Yeah,
planet coming at you. They put it on hydraulics like a flight simulator too.
I don't think they were going to get that, but they hit. I think they hit all their stretch goals. But if you did want any of that swag, and it's it's the Galileo, right? So it's the Galileo 7. So pretty darn.
Mr. Gaetano died to defend her.
Yeah. Yep.
By the way, anyone who didn't go to Star Trek The Experience in Vegas missed out.
Oh, it was so good. It was so good. God, I loved it there.
Awesome.
And my wife, just rode the ride, and then she's like, I don't want to stick around for this Star Trek crap. So I, went to Quarks. She went a little bit with me. Then she's like, I'm going to gamble, and then she won like 1,000. She won $1,000. It was the best. It was the best of both worlds.
Honey, I spent $1,000. It's perfect. You took the trip for free. Check out this 5-foot Enterprise I bought.
Yeah, which I'm waiting for my Tomy Enterprise to come in because Buddy said his dad got his today and he's been unboxing and setting it up. So where's my Enterprise?
Oh yeah, Mark, I sent you a YouTube video.
Yeah, I watched that.
That Tommy thing has been making its rounds.
Yeah.
I showed my wife, and I'm like, babe? And she goes, no fucking way. Like, I just bought you a necklace for our anniversary that costs more than that. No. Like, damn it.
Damn it, Jim.
I'm going to have to build it myself.
Yep. And probably end up being just as good, if not better.
Nah, that thing's pretty awesome, dude. That thing is pretty good. You got one though, right?
Yeah, it's on the way. Hopefully, yep. So I wanted to get mine early so I could get one of those videos that got 1 million views on it. Now mine's gonna come next week.
You got to do an unboxing though. You got to.
Yeah, I definitely do an unboxing. Yep. If you want to join me for that, it'd be fun. Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
Starships.
Jealous. Yep, Teague or Germ if you want to. Yeah, we could do that. Yep.
Send me a pass. All right, folks, you see her on your screen. Let's watch her dance in a video that she choreographed herself with clothes that were bought for her by the Rolling Stones. Thank you, dirty old men of the world. We love you all.
Can I finish, please? Shut up!